in.
Judge Gray?
Stuart Collins. Bruce, you remember Stu Collins, don't you?
Sure. I remember all the lawyers who tried to overturn you on appeal.
Yeah, nothing personal, I assure you. I was, merely a high-paid triggerman who missed his target.
And what are you doing here? Loading up for another appeal?
No, I was in the building. I thought I'd drop by and congratulate you on the Newsom case last month. You tiptoed through a grenade raise on that one, and you came out in one piece. Blew a lot of skirts up at the state capitol.
How do you know that?
I'm with the Office of the Governor's Legal Counsel now.
Stu. Why does that not surprise me? You always enjoyed a leisurely splash in the Shark Tank.
Yeah, well, there's no trick to that. You just grow teeth and fins. Seriously, good job on the Newsom case. And know that you got a friend in the governor's office if you need one.
Well, thanks. Thanks. And congratulations on the governor's gig.
Thank you. Bruce?
Stu.
Good to see you. Oh, there's going to be an opening on the appellate court soon. Because of the complex issues coming out of family and juvenile court, the governor's considering candidates with your expertise. I think he'd welcome your application.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah. See you.
I haven't seen footwork like that since Riverdance.
What do you mean?
He didn't happen to be in the building. Came all the way over here just to take your pulse.
For what?
The governor dispatched one of his minions to see how interested you'd be in the appellate court. He wouldn't do that unless he was seriously considering you.
Me on the appellate court?
That's what it looks like.
Wow.
It's time to decide how ambitious you want to be.
In modern trading as tech stocks continue their downward slide.
Hey, I'm listening to that.
This traffic makes me nervous. And I'm in the car too, you know.
What did I do now?
I have to drive you until you get your license back, but that doesn't mean I'm your chauffeur. You could talk to me.
Fine, what do you want to talk about?
You know.
Jillian, I miss Ned too, but talking about it doesn't change anything.
No, but it lets me know I'm not in this all by myself.
You're not.
Then talk to me, Peter.
Maxine! Maxine! Oh, I'm glad I caught you. I have tickets for the antique show tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I have to work tomorrow.
I told you 3 weeks ago, you said you'd arranged to take a day off.
I completely forgot. I'm sorry, Vivian.
Oh, well, I should be used to it by now.
What does that mean?
After all this time, is work still so sacred, Maxine? Thought you'd learned your lesson from all the times your family had to have dinner with us because you were too busy to get home in time.
My family has always been my highest priority, Vivian. And besides, I've cut way back since those days.
But not enough to take tomorrow off. Well, if that's what you want, I'll see if Norma Ferguson can go.
Norma Ferguson? Honestly, Vivian, you push more buttons than a court stenographer.
She's been much more pleasant since her surgery.
She poisoned your cat.
She was off her medication. I'd rather go with you, but no matter what you say, work always comes first.
Oh, all right. I've been working there for 30 years. They can do without me for one day, can't they?
Well, that's the spirit. Now, the good stuff goes fast, so we need to get there early.
How early?
I'll come to your house at 8. You make the coffee, I'll bring the pastry. We can make it in an hour if we don't stop. Oh, Maxine, you're entitled to a vacation.
Yes, I believe I am.
Can you drive?
Why not?
Miss Stedman, you're representing Sheila Vickery, and you're petitioning the court to have the birth certificate of her son altered to have her listed as the mother?
That is correct, Your Honor.
If she's the mother of the child, why isn't she listed as the mother already?
Because the hospital where the child was born, Hartford Mercy, refuses to do so.
And why is that, Mr. Durant?
Sheila Vickery didn't give birth to the child. Danielle Emerson did.
I'm a little confused. Miss Stedman, you said that Sheila Vickery is the mother of the child in question.
Yes, Your Honor.
But Danielle Emerson gave birth to the child?
Yes, Your Honor.
In plain English, Miss Stedman, who's the mother of this child?
They're both the mother, Your Honor.
Do you like the way this window looks?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I've been noticing how much of a difference an artistic window can make.
You window shopping?
No, I've been looking at condos.
You're buying a condo?
I know what you're going to say. They don't appreciate that well, and I should wait to buy a house.
No. Actually, I was going to ask you if you won the lottery.
Well, it's only $120,000. If I put 40 down, the payments won't be much more than what I'm paying now.
40 as in 1,000? In cash?
I know it's a chunk, but I'll still have 40 left to invest.
How have you managed to save $80,000 working for public radio?
I'm frugal, and I've been saving since college. Well, you must have a nest egg between working and having a book published.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
So where do you have your money?
Stocks. CDs.
So you're diversified?
Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Smart.
Your Honor, this is a case of first impression. There's no law in Connecticut that allows this.
And there's no law that precludes it. But my client's interests are clearly protected by the spirit of the law.
Okay, you two. Let's pace ourselves. Miss Stedman, why don't you take me through it, and then, Mr. Durant, I'll hear from you.
Your Honor, Miss Emerson and Miss Vickery have been in a stable, loving relationship for 8 years. And a year ago, they decided to have a child together. Miss Vickery supplied the egg that was fertilized by an anonymous sperm donor. The embryo was then implanted in Miss Emerson, who carried the pregnancy to term.
So both women are linked to the child biologically?
That's correct, Your Honor. Ms. Vickery wants the section on the birth certificate designated father deleted and her name inserted in another mother section.
That would be tantamount to same-sex marriage. And even Ms. Stedman would concede that that's banned by law.
No one is talking about same-sex marriage.
Your Honor, if I may remind the court...
Save it, Mr. Durant. Don't you guys ever bring me anything simple? Well, we're gonna need some time, so let's reconvene tomorrow at...
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Carson stops and shoots from the three-point line. Oh, you missed it. Long rebound. Horns got it to the top of the key.
Peter?
Check new mail.
some peace and quiet.
You were mighty quiet at dinner. Want to tell me what's wrong?
Nothing's wrong.
I can wait.
I have a chance to be appointed to the appellate court.
Amy, that's fantastic. It's not fantastic?
Oh, of course it is. Appellate court's what we're all in it for. It's the World Series of the judicial system.
However...
No, I mean, the truth is, I don't know what this job means, and I don't trust my own motives. I mean, is there any real point in wanting it, or am I just falling back into the trap of ambition?
There's nothing wrong with ambition.
Well, there's something wrong when you put it before your child's welfare.
You've been reading too many of those damn child-rearing books. Funny how no one mentions how a father's ambition might harm a child.
I know. She's just been through a lot, and I think it might be selfish of me to consider this.
I think it's wrong to ignore or neglect a child. You know that. I also think it's wrong to ignore or neglect a talent. Think of the example you'd be setting for Lauren.
Well, that's not the only part. And I'd have less time to do other stuff. To see people.
What people?
Men people.
I see.
I'm not giving up on that, Mom.
Did I say you should?
I'm at my sexual peak, you know?
I think they moved that to 40. You've got some time.
I just feel like I'd have to make this choice that I'll be marrying my career and giving up all the other stuff. But I do want that job.
We have the whole day. I told the office not to call unless it was a hostage situation.
Good, because there are some really interesting pieces here. Oh, I may get this Queen Anne table.
Hello? Hello, Sean? Sean, let Sadie do it. Sean, I haven't taken a day for myself in 2 years. Fine. But after that, I'm done for the day. I mean it. I have to make one stop. It won't take a minute.
What kind of stop?
I have to go by the hospital.
The hospital?
St. Timothy's. What? You can wait in the car.
In that neighborhood. Not on your life.
It's downtown, Vivian. It's not a war zone. Or we could cancel the whole thing.
Absolutely not. My day is planned around this.
It'll be fine. Just let me make this one stop.
What choice do I have?
Honestly, Vivian, I'd forgotten how much fun you can be.
The problem with sex is that once you have it, you want to have it again.
I've never seen that as a problem.
Well, it is when you're not dating anybody.
Whoa, wait, what about that cop? No, I mean that karate guy. No, I mean the lawyer.
They're all past tense.
Don't worry about it. You'll find somebody.
Yeah. The smug response of someone whose life is working.
Only the relationship part is working. I'm lacking in other areas, like money.
I don't have any money either.
Well, you got some. You got investments and stuff.
A few. Nothing I could retire on or anything.
Carol's buying a condo. She's got 80 grand saved up. 80 grand! She's not even 30 yet.
Well, she probably went to work right after college. You went to Europe. You wrote a book. That's worth something.
I'm so far behind. It's not like I'm getting any richer working at the Examiner.
You don't have any more dad's money left?
What do you mean, Dad's money?
The $10,000. He left each of us in his will. I thought that's how you got to Europe.
No, I sold my car and some blood. Well, I never saw any money from Dad.
Really? Well, maybe there was a stipulation that you not get it until a certain age. I don't know, ask Peter. He became executor after Dad's lawyer died.
Wait. Peter's sitting on $10,000 that belonged to me?
I don't know, and I don't want to get in the middle of this. All I know is that we all inherited $10,000, and you should talk to Peter about this.
Yeah, I think I will.
I didn't mean now.
Miss Shepard?
Yes.
Miss Shepard, I'm Maxine Gray with DCF.
Miss Gray, thank you for coming.
And, this is my associate, Vivian Galloway. I understand you have a sick child from school. Why do you want to get DCF involved?
Carl Johnson, he's with the doctor now. We thought he had the flu, but he's had it for 6 weeks now, and it's not getting better.
Where are his parents?
Vivian? Where are his parents?
Well, I contacted them, and they said they would take care of it, but they haven't. He's a very bright boy and a good student when he's in school, but he misses a lot. Dr. Alden? This is Maxine Gray and Vivian Galloway from DCF.
How's Carl?
He's gonna be fine. I'm sending him home with antibiotics.
What's the matter with him?
Well, he has what's called zoonosis. Technically, it's leptospirosis, which is a disease usually contracted from farm animals. It's treatable, but left untreated, it can lead to kidney or liver failure.
Does he live on a farm?
A dairy farm just out of town.
Vivian, why don't you take a cab to the antique show, and I'll meet you there later.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Well, I have to take this boy home, and I have to speak with his parents.
Well, if that's what you have to do.
It may take longer than I thought.
Is that the boy?
Hello, Carl.
Carl, this is Maxine Gray from DCF, and this is her associate, Vivian Galloway.
I'll see that he gets home, and I'll speak with his parents.
Thank you, Miss Gray.
Vivian, let's call you a cab.
No. In for a penny, in for a pound, Maxine. I might as well keep you company.
Lucky you caught me. I just happened to be working at home today. You want coffee or anything?
No, thanks. Yeah, I called your office. They said you were sick.
I say that so they won't bug me. What's on your mind?
Well, I just got a quick question. You have $10,000 that belong to me?
You mean your inheritance?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Technically, I have it. It's invested. I put part of it in some stocks that have performed well for me. The rest I put in a growth fund.
Really?
Your portfolio's averaged 15% for the last 10 years. Did well during the market rally. There's over $40,000 now.
When were you planning on telling me about this?
Vincent, you were 17 when Dad died. The will stipulated you received that money when you were 21. But you'd finally gone back to college then. And we were scared if you had the money, you'd drop out.
I want that money now, please.
If you cash out now, you'll incur thousands of dollars in brokerage fees and taxes. You're better off leaving it alone.
The money is mine, and I want it now.
You're not listening, Vincent. It would cost you a bundle to take it out of the market.
Never asked you to put it in the market, Peter.
I was looking out for you.
How? By lying to me for over a decade?
Fine. I can get it to you in a couple days.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes?
My name is Maxine Gray. I'm with the Department of Children and Families. And this is my associate, Vivian Galloway. Carl's teacher took him to the hospital. It seems he's contracted something from one of these animals. He's going to need this.
Is he gonna be okay?
Oh, yes. But we need to talk.
Run on inside, son.
Miss Shepard tells me that Carl has a history of missing school.
Well, I need him around here sometimes.
You can't keep him out of school, Mr. Johnson, and you can't expose him to health hazards.
Who are these other children that are working?
A couple of them are mine. The rest are Juan's there. Juan Escobar.
Are you aware that it's illegal for underage children to work during school hours?
If Juan's family doesn't work, they can't live.
If it is that drastic, then I can enroll him, or both of you, in an assistance program, but these children need to be in school. That's the law.
If they're in school, the work doesn't get done. The only way a family farm can survive is if the kids all work.
I understand that, but the law clearly
How about
states...
this? You take your ID and your laws, and you and your associate get the hell off my land.
You might as well cooperate with me, Mr. Johnson. I don't want to get the police involved, but I will.
Get off my land. Now.
I guess we're going to do this the hard way.
Go to hell, both of you.
Vivian.
Everything's delicious, Mom.
I didn't do everything. Jillian made the casserole and the salad.
I love tuna casserole.
Salmon.
Salmon casserole.
You didn't make it to the antique show, Maxine?
No, we never did. I thought Vivian would be upset, but she took it like a soldier.
What?
You're gonna have wine?
Is that a crime?
Remember what we talked about?
I remember what you talked about. We didn't talk about anything because we don't talk anymore. You lecture. And that's only when you're not online on that stupid computer. But if we did talk, I would say to you again that I am not an alcoholic.
Fine, Peter. Do what you want.
Oh, and now for the passive-aggressive portion of the evening.
Peter, we are going to have a nice, quiet family dinner. If you want to have a glass of wine, have one.
Thank you.
Jillian, don't
Will
go.
you give Peter a ride home?
Come back inside. What is storming off going to accomplish?
We're in trouble, and I really don't think we're gonna make it.
Oh, you two have just been through a terrible ordeal. I mean, now is not the time to put your relationship under a microscope.
Will you see that he gets home?
Jillian, Peter's hurting too.
Oh, really? How would I know that? He doesn't tell me. I mean, he won't even discuss Ned with me.
Well, I'm sure it's hard for him.
Well, he's not doing anything to help himself. I mean, I am working on my grief. Amy, I joined an online support group.
An online support group?
For parents who've lost their children. I met this guy. I mean, we talk for hours. And he really understands me. He lost his daughter in a custody dispute, and you know what he told me? He said that Ned would always remember those months that we spent together. I mean, this man comforts me more than my own husband.
Well, Jillian, sometimes it's easier for strangers to talk to each other that way. The lack of intimacy creates an imaginary bond.
Imaginary? I'm not imagining this. I know compassion when I see it, and I sure as hell know when it's missing.
No, all I'm saying is...
You're just defending your brother, and I understand that. I do. But you have no idea how lonely I am in my own house.
Percy, sit. Sit. Lie down. Well, you got that standing and staring thing down.
Maxine!
Vivian! What's all that?
Oh, some old clothes of Henry and the kids. I thought you could take them to those farmers.
Oh.
I heard you say they needed assistance.
Well, I was talking about government support.
Did you see what those children were wearing? It was scandalous. I think they'll really appreciate this.
Well, it's awfully nice of you, Vivian, but I...
Look, this is that new microfiber. They can just throw it in the washer.
Thank you, Vivian. I'll see that the Johnsons get these.
Could I go with you? I enjoyed being your associate.
Well, it kind of goes against policy. You're really not supposed to impersonate a DCF worker.
Well, of course, I wouldn't want to do that. I just want to go along for the ride. I'd like to see their faces when you give them the clothes.
Vivian, I really don't think that's going to work.
Well, you know best.
It's just, it's a lot more complicated than you know.
Well, all right. Call me sometime when you're not too busy.
Miss Stedman, Mr. Durant, you two looked particularly dapper on the news last night. Mr. Durant, I see you brought a friend today. Would this be Dr. Stevenson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. For the record, Dr. Lewis Stevenson has filed an amicus brief on behalf of his organization, Family United. Dr. Stevenson, although I'm going to deny your motion to intervene, I will allow you to make a brief statement to express your concerns.
Thank you, Your Honor. Family United is a non-denominational advocacy group dedicated to the protection and preservation of family values. And although we have nothing but pity and compassion for these two women, to rule in their favor would be to impose a fabricated reality.
How so?
The unnatural lifestyle of gays and lesbians can only produce an artificial family, because family can only be ordained by God.
Dr. Stevenson, we're here solely to determine the best interests of the child.
Yes, but these women are challenging the laws of nature.
No, they're challenging the laws of Connecticut. Doctor, I can see where this is headed, and frankly, we just don't have time for it. So do you have anything substantive to add?
There is nothing more substantive than the laws of God and nature.
Thank you, Doctor. So noted. Have a seat. Miss Stedman, your first witness.
I gotta get a new financial guy. You like yours, don't you?
Sure, for the moment. But the second he cost me a nickel, he's history. Why are you switching?
I just wonder if my guy's as good as he thinks he is. Take a look at this. These stocks get dividends of less than 50 cents.
Well, if it's a smaller mid-cap company, that could be a good thing. Are you... are you showing off? The value of your portfolio has quadrupled in the past 10 years. How much better do you expect someone else to do?
I just thought I'd look around.
I wouldn't risk it. I'd like to talk to him myself.
Really?
Yeah, your investments have outperformed mine.
Really?
And you had me convinced you're this indigent writer with no financial skills.
You fell for that?
Come in.
Am I interrupting?
No, Stuart. Come on in.
Back in 15.
You just happen to be in the neighborhood again?
No. Go ahead, eat. I just came over to tell you the governor was very happy to receive your application to the appellate court. I had a feeling you'd follow through.
Well, I'm flattered to be considered.
You got a good shot, Amy. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
So you wouldn't mind if we spoke off the record?
Sure.
The case you're hearing is making people uncomfortable.
The two mothers?
As you know, the governor, as well as the state of Connecticut, is opposed to same-sex marriage.
Well, I'm not hearing a case like that.
This could take us a step closer, and you know it.
Hey, Stuart, career opportunities notwithstanding, I really can't discuss cases that are pending before me.
If your highly publicized ruling were to fly in the face of the governor's pro-family image, he'd take a lot of justified flack from his supporters if he turned around and appointed you to the appellate court.
Well, I really can't worry about that.
Amy, you have to worry about that. The language of the law limits what you can do in this case. Now is not the time to reinvent the wheel.
I'm really uncomfortable with this conversation.
Amy, are you honestly willing to risk your career to put somebody's name on a legal document? It's not as if some kid's life is at stake here. You can't fall on every sword. Just think about it, all right?
I will think about it.
Good. Have a nice lunch.
You just need to sign on all the places I marked for you. You should have the money by Monday. If there's any trouble, call me. I'll talk to the broker. Or you can talk to him. What?
You know that big stink I made about my inheritance? I'd kind of like to pretend it never happened.
You can pretend you're bombed by the cross-eyed Sherpa for all I care.
Peter, I'm trying to apologize.
And then it's like it never happened?
I freaked when I found out I had some money coming.
So you turn on the guy who was trying to look out for you?
I'm behind schedule in my life. It tends to make a person panic.
Well, screw that, because...
Peter, I was trying to impress a girl.
A girl? Carol?
Yeah, Carol. I wish I had loftier goals, but I'm in love. I'm doing all this stupid in-love stuff, like trying to seem smarter and better than I actually am. I thought you might understand.
Oh, Vincent.
I know.
Vincent.
I know. But you always had good girl advice for me. Like when I was in love with Mary Ellen Payne in 7th grade and you told me to ignore her.
Right. Did that work?
No, she dumped me for Adam Noah, but at least I escaped with my dignity. I know this is a hard time for you.
So this is pity?
No. Of course not. It's humility. Carol was so impressed with my portfolio, she wants you to manage her money.
Really?
But you can't.
No, of course not.
I thought maybe you could teach me to invest.
Sure. I could do that. Once a week you come over, I'll spell it out for you.
That'd be good.
So you love this girl?
Yeah. Yeah, I love this girl.
In the matter of Vickery v. Hartford Mercy Hospital. Well, we are living in a world that is changing so fast that the courts are racing to keep up with it. The law has never needed to define motherhood, but now advances in medicine and science require it to. But no matter how much the world around us changes, for this court, the core questions remain immutable. What is a family, and what is best for the child? We have heard testimony that Ms. Emerson and Ms. Vickery are stable, loving, and happy. They have told us themselves that they wanted this child, they love this child, and they will raise this child together. We've heard no testimony to establish them as unfit, except the opinion of some that they are unnatural or immoral. Indeed, God may ordain a family, but he gives us technology to confuse the issue as well. As this court recognizes that both women are connected to the child by biology and that both women are the intended parents, it can find no reason to deny them their request. Moreover, it can find no reason to suspect that this will be anything other than a stable, loving, and happy family. I hereby order Hartford Mercy Hospital to amend the child's birth certificate to list both Miss Emerson and Miss Vickery under the category of mother. We are adjourned.
How's Carl feeling?
You got one hell of a nerve coming back here, lady.
Mr. Johnson, I realize that I was a little harsh last time, and I've come to correct that.
What's in that box?
Mrs. Galloway sent you some clothes.
Why'd you do that?
She thought you could use them. But if you don't want them, then maybe Mr. Escobar will.
Well, we'll never know because Mr. Escobar is gone.
What do you mean?
You mentioned the police and it spooked him. So he packed up his family and moved on.
I'm sorry to hear that, but it really doesn't change anything.
It does for me. I got no help.
Well, I was doing some research, and I've come across a number of programs that can give you some assistance.
I didn't ask you for any help.
No, you didn't. But your children need to go to school, and if you need help getting them there, then you're going to have to accept some.
You think some forms are going to change the way my family has lived for generations? All my kids need to know is how to run a dairy farm.
The state of Connecticut doesn't see it that way.
State of Connecticut? Who do you think founded the state of Connecticut? People like me, that's who. People who worked the land. We made this country what it is. And now people like you are trying to destroy us.
You aren't the only ones who made this country. This country was founded on the backs of slaves and child laborers and factory workers and soldiers, too, Mr. Johnson. Many of the systems that formed this country have changed because, mercifully, society has evolved.
You don't know anything, do you? How could you, shuffling papers all day? Farming is hard work. Endless, grueling, hard work. And if you're born into a farm family, you're gonna do your share. And if you miss a little school, so be it. Now, you can come out here waving around your forms and threatening to call the police all you want, but it's not gonna change a damn thing.
I'll follow up on Carl's attendance record, and someone from DCF will check in with you next week.
You know, if these kids spend all their time in school, one day they may not have a house to come back to. How does that help anyone? You must take a lot of pride in your work. In just 2 days, you've managed to cripple 2 families. Yeah, go back and tell the state of Connecticut what a good job you're doing.
Thompson takes a jumper from the free throw line, and he makes it. This is a close one. It's going to go down to the wire.
Been watching this game all night?
Well, I just turned it on. All that matters is how it ends.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Check new mail.
Judge Gray? What the hell did you do in that courtroom today?
I made a decision.
I recommended you to the governor as a friend. I warned you about that case as a friend, and then you go and pull a stunt like that? What the hell were you thinking?
That maybe we're not really friends?
That's very amusing.
Stu, my job is to render a verdict based on the facts presented to me.
Why can't you see the big picture? Who cares what happens to my 2 moms in there? You had a shot at the appellate court, a damn good shot. I practically handed it to you.
Well, I guess that clears up the mystery of how that case ended up in my court.
It wasn't a mystery, it was a test.
That I failed because I followed the rules.
If you want to see it that way.
My job is to make sure that children and families are taken care of. And if in the course of that I'm promoted, fine. Otherwise, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I can't compromise. I can't climb to the top on other people's backs.
And you wonder why more women aren't in positions of power. No, because when push comes to shove, you lack ambition. You don't understand it.
Well, let's see. I sit on the bench and I make rulings that benefit children and families. And whether they love me or hate me at the end of those rulings, I can look them in the face and know that to the best of my ability, I did the right things for no other reason than it's my job. You run around and try to manipulate people to impress your boss and further your own career? Yeah, bottom line, I guess we have different definitions of power.
dying to know, did you take my clothes to the farm family?
Yes, I did.
Well?
Vivian, they wouldn't even...
They wouldn't what?
They wouldn't stop talking about how much they appreciated it.
Oh, didn't I tell you? You're not the only one who knows people, Maxine.
I guess not.
The little things make a difference.
Right.
Must be great helping people all the time.
Yes.
Oh, I would have been a good social worker. I've always had a way with people. You come on too strong sometimes. You catch more flies with honey, Maxine.
Vivian, what are you talking about? Does it ever occur to you that you have absolutely no idea about how things really work?
Maxine, do you know what your problem is? You need a day off. Things have been too hard lately. You need a break. Oh, you need to go shopping.
Vivian, you're right. That is exactly what I need to do.
I tried to tell you. Now, you stay where you are, and I'll make some tea, and we'll decide where to go.
Okay.
This time, I'm driving.
Wow. I didn't expect it to be you. How are you?
Fine. But here's the deal. I really like going out with you, but there was another guy that made more sense on paper. So I dumped you for him, and now I feel stupid. I mean, partly stupid because he went back to his ex-wife, but mostly I just feel stupid. I liked you from the start, and I couldn't admit it. So I think what I'm interested in is a casual relationship. I like you, you like me, so on. I don't want us to talk about love or the future or even monogamy, but if you think that we can have a relationship in the absence of all that, well, here I am. What do you think?
These times are trying.
Is that a yes?
Inside I'm smiling. I wanna feel the way I used to. I wanna feel it with you.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, the drama explodes when the detectives investigate a homicide. Law and Order is next on TNT.
What is it?
I thought you lost that hat.
My favorite snow hat? No way.
I was still thinking you might have lost it. You can stop right here.
No, there's a space right out front.
That's okay.
Hey, bye, baby girl.
Bye.
Lauren! Earmuffs! Have a good day.
It's just what we wanted. I think we should try it out over here. Place it in front of the door so that when people come in, it's the first thing they see.
Mr. Perdue, you must understand, we have to open by the 1st.
Yeah, so you said.
The opening is tied to our matching money and some grant deadlines, but more important, every day this place isn't open is a day more damage can be done.
So this is going to be a place for a bunch of drug addicts, right?
No, Mr. Perdue, it's not for drug users. It's for children. Abused children. How long is this going to take?
Almost done.
This place was built long before the handicap regs, but we were able to work around the space.
Dan and our architect have done wonders weaving their way through a jungle of wrong-headed bureaucratic nonsense. You'd be surprised the hoops and barriers we've had to negotiate to get this place in order.
You're 3 inches too narrow.
What?
The staircase. It's below code.
The plans were approved.
Maybe they were. But the staircase is 3 inches too narrow. I can't give you the certificate of occupancy till you correct the problem.
Corrected how?
I can't tell you how to fix it. I'm just a building inspector. Call me when it's fixed.
Just a moment. Mr. Perdue, I don't think that you grasp the situation. We don't have time for new plans or new construction. What you're looking at is the finished product, give or take some used furniture. When you consider what we're going to be doing here, 3 inches doesn't seem very important, does it?
Well, it's important enough for me not to give you a C of O.
Donna, Oscar's on the phone.
Hi, Oscar. Yeah, that's her. No, Vince is putting socks on. No, she's not calling him Daddy. She can't talk yet. That's still a few months off. I'll try. I'm sure she would love to see you after she gets over the croup. I better take her down to the pediatrician now. Okay, bye now. What am I gonna do?
Buy bigger socks. I can't do this.
No, he wants to see her again.
Well, of course he wants to see her again.
You say that as if we're some normal family out for a day in the park.
You're never gonna be a normal family, but that's kind of the deal you made.
No, the deal I made was marrying a man wrongly convicted of killing his mother.
You really believe that? I mean, really? Because most people would have at least a small reserve of doubt in a case like this.
Oscar filled that reserve with alibis and deception. I'm supposed to live with that, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Well, it's not like you have a choice.
There are choices.
Your lunch, time to go.
I thought Aunt Winnie was taking me to school.
Yeah, so did I.
There she is.
Hey, you ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not late. You thought I'd be late, but I'm not.
Close enough.
You just get your studying done and ace that exam.
Daddy, do I get to read your report card?
Not a chance.
He always gets A's. If it wasn't for him, I would have flunked 4th grade.
When's Grandma coming home?
As soon as she finds out that Las Vegas is a nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there.
What if she likes it?
Where is Las Vegas?
You just follow all the retired people west. They migrate like birds, except they don't come back.
Grandma's coming back. Here you go.
Come on. Can't be late. Steam will come out of your dad's ears.
Bye.
Bye.
It is 3 inches too narrow.
How is that possible?
Well, how it happened isn't important right now. Dan?
If we have to rip this whole thing out,
Oh, God.
ballpark, $10,000. Take a week, maybe 2.
That is not acceptable. If we don't open by the 1st, we lose our federal grant money. We barely have enough money to open as it is.
What you really need is a variance. It's sort of an okay to open in spite of the problem.
Where do we get one?
Building and safety.
Purdue.
For a few $100, your pal might make it happen.
You mean a kickback?
No, technically it would be a bribe.
This is a hearing on the state's request to sever the parental rights of Helen and David Cook from their 3 children currently in foster care. Mr. and Mrs. Cook have been convicted of abusing their oldest child, Alice, and are now serving 7 years and 5 years, respectively. Ms. Schanzer.
Your Honor, DCF feels and the state agrees that due to the severity and the duration of the abuse committed against Alice, the parental rights of the Cooks to their children should be permanently terminated.
Judge Gray, the Cooks deny the abuse and are appealing their convictions. In the meantime, their 2 younger children, Bart and Elizabeth, have been denied visitation. There have never been any accusations with regard to the younger children. Only Alice has claimed abuse. Alice was adopted by the Cooks, and she was a problem child for many years.
Don't even think about that approach, Counselor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll hear testimony tomorrow afternoon.
2 o'clock.
At 2 o'clock.
I part company with Tiffany's Table Manners on their treatment of romaine lettuce, but I have always admired their gusto when it comes to asparagus.
Mom makes me cut it.
That's because she overcooks it. What activity are you off to?
Just a movie. I know it's 2 nights in a row, but I promise I'll make it up to you this weekend. We can go to Riverwalk, or Bushnell Park, or...
Katie!
Consider yourself off the hook.
Well, I know kids are supposed to bounce back. I just don't know if I want her bouncing back that fast.
Katie wants to know if she can take me to the mall.
Well, only if your homework's finished and you've helped put away the dinner dishes.
Then I can go?
Yes, then you can go.
Yes!
Be back half an hour before bedtime.
What should I wear?
Have a good time.
I just didn't realize that Carol could swear so fluently.
Sounds like you and Carol have a lot of fun together.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Uncle Vincent.
Well, hey, Lauren. You're looking different this morning.
Haven't I seen that shirt before?
Yeah, it was at the mall. Katie bought it for me.
Yeah, that was the shirt that I said was too grown up for you.
Then how come they have it in my size?
Because there are some very small teenagers. Look, the point is that I said you couldn't have it. So now we're gonna have to return it. No, we'll get Katie to return it.
How come you hate Katie?
I don't hate Katie. Now go upstairs and change, you're gonna be late.
Okay.
You hate Katie.
I hate Katie. Oh, I'm afraid she's gonna turn Lauren into a little her.
What's wrong with her?
Well, nothing if you like perky, nubile teenagers.
I think I'm gonna let that one pass.
Look, here's the thing. You can spend your whole life trying to be cute, and then someday you're 30 years old, if that. And what do you have to show for yourself? A drawer full of bad eyeshadows and some accessory crap endorsed by some celebrity they forgot before she hit rehab. I want Lauren to concentrate on the inside things. The things that'll make her attractive to people her whole life. I want her to have wisdom and be funny and kind.
Like you. On a good day.
Yeah, that'll be $8 for the continental breakfast.
Thanks for the coffee.
Congratulations. You guys are the best. Thank you. Ready to take a picture of us? Okay, first time.
Oh, over here?
May I speak with Dashiell Perdue, please? Mr. Perdue, this is Maxine Gray with Sanctuary House. You came by yesterday, and I was wondering if, could you hold just a moment, please?
I saved you a piece with a rose on it.
Thank you, Sadie.
Come by when you get off the phone. Ken brought his karaoke machine.
I can hardly wait. I'm sorry. As I was saying, I feel that we have some unfinished business, and I was wondering if we might have a meal, go over a few things, perhaps dinner. My treat.
Hello.
Judge Gray? Hi, I'm Winnie Van Exel, Bruce's sister.
Oh, hi. It's nice to meet you.
Hi. Sorry to barge in on you like this, but my mother's out of town, and it's just pretty much ruined everybody's schedule.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Angel. Winnie, I'm surprised to see you here.
Well, Mom called, and she's staying over. Bruce, I think she's seriously considering this. What are we gonna do?
That's something we're not going to discuss right now.
Our mother. She's decided she doesn't want another New England winter, so she's looking for a condo in Nevada. Some of her friends moved out there last year.
Winnie, I need you not to be here right now. Rebecca, let's pack this up, okay?
Okay.
But really, you know, a woman her age? I think it's irresponsible for her to move like that. She doesn't know how much we depend on her. I mean, what's Bruce supposed to do with Rebecca? I'm flexible, but I'm not that flexible.
Winnie, Judge Gray has a busy afternoon, so
Sure, okay. I just thought maybe you might want to know about Mom.
tonight.
Bye.
Bye.
I found the missing lawyer. He dropped his pager in the man's room and was unable or unwilling to recover it.
So that's your sister?
Yes, that's Winifred, who has many fine qualities. Good timing not being among them.
And your mother, she's thinking about moving? How old is she?
Judge Gray, you have a very heavy afternoon.
Right.
Do you know why you can't visit your parents, Elizabeth?
They're in jail.
And do you know why your mom and dad are in jail?
Because Alice said they hurt her.
Objection. These are not alleged abusers. They're convicted abusers.
I understand your objection, Miss Shanzer, and don't worry, I'm not going to relitigate the Cooks. But we need to be a little tolerant of the witness. Stay on the straight and narrow, Mr. Trask.
Did your parents ever hit you, Elizabeth?
No, sir.
How about your little brother Bart? Did they ever hurt him?
They'd never hurt Bart. They love Bart and me.
Elizabeth, would you like to visit your parents?
Yes, please. They never hurt me. They love me and I love them.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Miss Shanzer?
Elizabeth, did you ever see your parents hit your sister, Alice?
She's not my real sister. She's adopted.
Did you ever see your parents hit Alice?
No, ma'am.
Did Alice ever tell you she'd been beaten by your parents?
Alice lies.
Oh, what do you mean Alice lies, Elizabeth?
She says things that aren't true. It's a bad habit. It causes trouble.
Your Honor,
You picked the street, Mr. Trask. It goes both ways. Proceed.
Did you ever see any cuts or scratches or bruises on your sister, Alice?
She's really clumsy. She falls down. Everybody falls down.
Nothing further?
I think we're done for the day.
No. Wait. You have to let us see our parents. It's not their fault. They love us. Honest.
It's all right, Elizabeth. You don't need to answer any more questions.
Look at that. Here, put it in here.
Hello.
Hi, Mom.
What you doing?
Brittany's website.
Oh.
Push that.
There you go.
Okay, now wait,
Just
go
click
back.
it.
Oh, Miss Gray.
You know, Lauren told me that you were unhappy with the little top I got her at the mall, and I told her I'd talk to you about it.
Oh, really?
You know, I didn't mind getting it for her. It was on sale, and I get all these frequent buyer points.
It's not about buying the top, Kitty. I can afford to buy my daughter clothing. No, Lauren knew that it was the kind of thing that I wouldn't let her have, so she went around me and got you to buy it. You were being manipulated.
No, she didn't manipulate me at all. And she looks so cute in it.
It's too old for her.
But, you know, that's kind of the fun of dressing up. You know, little girls play with dolls, and sometimes they are the dolls. It's how girls learn to be women.
The top goes back. And I decide what's appropriate and inappropriate for Lauren. And frankly, I don't think you're in a position to discuss maturity with me.
What do you mean?
I mean, I haven't been very happy with some of the choices you've been making lately.
Oh.
Such as taking her to loiter at the mall.
Oh, we only go after schoolwork's done.
And letting her wander all over the internet.
Oh, I keep an eye on her.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I can trust your judgment. There's a lot of stuff out there that I don't want Lauren to be exposed to.
It's just Brittany. I mean, it's pretending. It's...
Katie, I am not debating this with you. You have no voting stock in this matter. You're an employee. That's your position in this house. Understand?
Oh, you're here now. So I should go. Bye, Lauren.
Bye. Daddy, will you help me with my number?
Not right now, honey. We're late.
Someone's supposed to check them.
Let me get you to school and we'll see if there's time to check them, okay?
Grandma usually helps you with numbers.
I know.
When's Grandma coming home? Uh-oh.
I used to say that it was like a nightmare, but you eventually wake up from a nightmare. This is madness. I have a job, a house, and a family. Look at me now. My wife and I did nothing to Alice. Maybe she resented it when we had Elizabeth and Bart. I don't know.
You have never been accused of abusing Bart or Elizabeth, have you?
No. No, sir. No one said we ever laid a finger on them. I mean, they're our babies, for God's sake. And not being able to see them, it's torture. If we could see them, if we knew that there was a chance when this was over to somehow be a family again, that would be something to hold on to. It would be a way to keep some kind of sanity.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Your Honor.
Wish answer?
Mr. Cook, you and your wife were convicted of physically abusing your daughter Alice over a period of several years. Is that correct?
We did nothing to Alice. We denied the whole 6th story under an oath to God.
And yet you were convicted, weren't you?
Yes.
And not solely on the word of your daughter, but on the testimony of co-workers, neighbors, 2 doctors, and your own mother. Is that correct?
I told you, it was madness. Everywhere we turned, it was madness.
Marshals, whatever that is, can you make it go away, please?
All right, folks, you're gonna have to leave.
I got it, Judge Grant. Excuse me. Excuse me. And who are you? Whoa.
Okay, what the hell was all that?
Bonfilio versus Bonfilio.
And why were all those Bonfilios trying to get into my courtroom?
I made a mistake. They were called in error.
Well, Don, I count on you to keep my cases from rear-ending each other.
I'm sorry.
I know that you have a lot on your mind.
It wasn't her fault. It's mine. Donna told me the Bonfilios wanted to move. I dropped the ball. Sorry, won't happen again.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Oh, I better go check on them. The Bonfilios.
Back in 10 minutes.
All right. Bruce.
It's no big deal. I made a mistake. I don't make many, so it seems more significant than it really is.
No, I was just going to ask you if everything's okay. With your mother and your sister. How you doing with all that?
Maintain an even strain. Back in 9.
Dashel. What do your friends call you?
Dashel.
All right. I wanted to get together with you, Dashel, because I believe there's been a misunderstanding, and I wouldn't want that to get in the way of your doing your job.
My job's finished. Till you fix the stairs.
I've spoken with the architect and the contractor, and they tell me in cases like this, it's possible to get a variance, enabling us to receive that all-important certificate of occupancy.
Well, I suppose you can get a variance for the stairs, but I can still hold up the certificate for one of 5 or 6 other violations I found.
There were other violations?
I was letting you slide until the staircase.
What about the staircase made it such a cardinal sin?
Wasn't the staircase per se. It's just that I finally had enough.
Enough of what?
You really want me to tell you?
Very much so.
I'd had enough of you.
Me?
You and people like you. I've been doing this job for 15 years. 15 years I've been looking out for people, keeping them safe. Nobody notices because the newspapers don't print headlines about a building that doesn't collapse. It's not like I don't think what you're doing is important. It is. I'm glad you're doing it. The other day I just had enough with the good, noble, self-sacrificing people. Like I said, it's not just you. You just happen to be the cherry on the sundae.
Am I to understand that you are holding up my certificate of occupancy because I hurt your feelings?
It's a matter of professional respect.
Respect? Respect? Respect, Dashel, is earned. They don't issue it to you along with your business cards and a county car. If you wanted applause for doing your job, you should have become a juggler. How dare you threaten this project? What gives you the right to turn everything into a schoolyard vendetta? As for my behavior towards you the other day, that came after 33 years of having my social skills sandblasted by a job I do very well. It's not your fault I am the way I am. You are just the cherry on the sundae. On second thoughts, I wouldn't want to bruise your integrity further with a perceived bribe. Pay for your own damn French fries.
Sounds like you really like the place. Is there a waiting list?
You haven't given them any money yet, have you?
So this could happen in about 2 months.
That's awfully fast. I think you need time to think this over. You still on the afternoon flight?
Winnie will meet you.
I thought you were picking her up.
One of us will be there, don't worry. Look, Mom, I'm glad you found something you like.
Just don't give them any checks until we all discuss it, okay?
I love you, Mom. Goodbye.
Bye, Mommy. Thanks for nothing.
What?
Why didn't you back me up? We can't just let her pack up and move.
Winnie, it's her money. More important is her life. She can do whatever she wants.
Oh, so you want her to go away?
Of course I don't want her to move. But she hates the cold. She has friends there. Maybe she'll be happier.
She hasn't thought this through. We need to make her understand what this would mean, Bruce, and we have to put up a united front.
Maybe what this means is if the chicks won't leave the nest, sometimes Mama Bird has to fly to Las Vegas.
Screw you.
Come on, Winnie.
Now let her go. I'm not the one who needs a babysitter. See how much work and studying you get done when Mom's not 10 minutes away.
You think I'm looking forward to that? I'm not, believe me. I don't know how I'm gonna handle it, but I will handle it.
Because you're the big smart one who never slips up. What about me, Bruce? Just because you can do something doesn't mean everybody else can. You just can't ever back me up on anything, can you? It just won't help me.
Winnie.
Just... You're gonna say, Winnie, how about helping yourself for once? Do me a favor. Say it when I'm on the other side of the door.
Oh, it's just the best movie. It's about this one family, well, no, two families, and how they change and how the country changes around them. And I can't believe I've never seen The Magnificent Ambersons.
Is it a black and white movie?
Yeah.
I don't like black and white movies.
Well, you say black and white like it's a distinct genre.
Well, they just don't move as fast as color films, and people talk more black and white. It just doesn't do it for me.
Oh.
So, how's life?
It's pretty good, except I think I'm sitting on a sponge.
How are things at home?
Proving the chaos theory one day at a time.
Okay. It's good.
Your third degree doesn't give off a lot of heat. What's on your mind?
I got a call from Katie.
I see.
She started crying when she was on the phone with me.
Uh-huh.
She said you yelled at her.
I didn't yell at her. There was a problem, and I needed to make myself clear, but I did it in my normal voice.
Okay. Good.
We just needed a little boundary adjustment, that's all.
Right.
It's not like she's not doing a great job. It's just sometimes she forgets she's my employee and not Lauren's girlfriend.
She said you said that.
I didn't say exactly that.
Something like that, she said.
I'm sorry she's upset, but she has to understand that she can't run Lauren's life like some teen beat Mary Poppins. Does she talk to you a lot?
She's my niece. I talked to her.
Specifically about me and Lauren and what goes on in our house?
Not specifically. She was feeling bad, and I'm the guy she calls when she's feeling bad.
Well, you didn't tell her you were going to talk to me about this, did you?
She doesn't know anything about us. And this conversation is officially creepy, which is not what I had in mind when I filled up the tub.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
For a long time after the Cooks adopted me, that's just how I thought a family treated you. And by the time I figured out that it wasn't, I didn't think that anybody would believe me.
And what would happen if you broke a rule?
Dad would hit me. Mr. Cook.
With his open hand or his fist?
Both, depending upon how bad he thought that I behaved. Sometimes he would use this piece of wood. It came off of an old screen door, and there were other things, if they were handy.
Did things change for you after the Cooks had Elizabeth and Bart?
Yes.
How?
I was adopted because Mom, Mrs. Cook, thought that she couldn't have babies. And before Elizabeth, they would tell me how lucky I was that they had to adopt me and how grateful I should be. And I was grateful. And after that, I realized that things were going to get bad for me. And it did.
The beatings increased?
Yes.
Why do you think that happened, Alice?
They said that I had gotten lazier and that I couldn't do anything right. But I think that they just didn't want me to exist anymore. They had their real kids, and I was their fake kid. I was a mistake. And that's when I became afraid of them. So I had to do something for me, and for Elizabeth, and for Bart. I'm sorry you're in jail, but there's nothing else I could do. I don't know if you really don't remember what you did to me, or if you're just lying, and I don't know what's worse.
Your Honor.
Sit down, Mr. Trask.
But one day you are gonna remember what you did to me. Or you'll stop lying. And I think that that day is gonna be very hard for you. But I do want you to know, for whatever it's worth, I forgive you. Mom. Dad. Daddy.
I take it last night was not a magic evening.
If he demanded money or even sexual favors, things might have worked out. But he didn't want that.
What do you want?
Dignity. A tribute I was unable to pay. I was blindsided by pride. Mine, not his. Oh, Fran, I lack delicacy.
No kidding.
I told Dashiell it had been sandblasted away, but that's not true. I think it went through a process of erosion, a little at a time, without my noticing. Or choosing not to notice.
Dashiell.
That's his name. Dashiell Purdue.
Hell of a handle.
Mark it well. When this place doesn't open, we can put a big sign over the door. Dashiell Purdue. Look on my works and despair.
We will open, Maxine. We didn't come this far to have someone named Dashiell stop us.
He didn't stop us, I did. If I'd been stuck in traffic and missed his inspection, we'd have that certificate of occupancy now. But I made good time that morning. Caught all the lights and arrived to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
The divorce attorney asked if there'd be a problem serving papers on Oscar. I didn't think so.
No, he's pretty easy to locate. Donna, divorcing Oscar. Are you doing this to protect Ariadne or because you heard that Oscar lied to you?
A. First choice, number one.
So you're not angry that Oscar lied to you about killing his mother?
Oh, no. I'm angry at me for believing him. It makes me look like some kind of romantic, idealistic dope.
You are romantic and idealistic.
Which is bad enough without looking really stupid. How could I have allowed myself to be deceived by him?
Yeah, there's a certain amount of deception at the start of any relationship. A window when you don't question the other person's story. Granted, Oscar left out something bigger than most.
I feel like the punchline at the end of a really mean practical joke.
Knowing you led Oscar to confess. For the first time, he took responsibility for what he did. Regardless of what you think about souls and redemption, that's important. And it wouldn't have happened without you. It doesn't feel like a joke to me.
What should I do?
Tonight, you don't have to do anything.
Helen and David Cook were convicted of physically abusing their daughter Alice and are currently serving sentences in a state facility. Now, incarceration does not, in itself, warrant termination of rights. Beyond that, neither of the Cooks were ever accused of physically harming their other two children, Elizabeth and Bart. Of all that I've heard, one testimony stands out in my mind. That of Elizabeth. Elizabeth gave me special insight into what it might be like to have the Cooks as parents, and I'm grateful that they called her in their defense so that I could hear what she had to say. Mr. and Mrs. Cook, you have squandered your children. You beat one child and you hollowed out the minds of two others, filling them with a fear that you perversely equate with love and respect. It is left to me to protect these children that you have damaged so egregiously. So, I am granting the state's petition to terminate the parental rights of David Cook and Helen Cook with regard to the three minors, Alice Cook, Elizabeth Cook, and Bart Cook. The Cooks will be permitted no contact with these children of any kind. That includes telephone calls and letter writing. Marshals, we are done, and the Cooks are leaving. We're in recess, 15 minutes.
We didn't do anything to any of them. How can you do this, Doc?
I can do this, Mr. Cook, because I have met your children.
No, we're right on schedule. I'll check with you tomorrow.
You were saying?
I can fix the window problem with a sledgehammer and one man, but this still leaves the staircase.
Which would still be 10,000.
Yes, but I gotta tell you, even if the money is there, and I start right away, I don't know if I could get it done to meet your deadline.
What does he want now? Hello?
I called your office. They said I could find you here.
What's that? A subpoena?
It's your certificate of occupancy.
Thank you, Dashiell.
Well, I'll let you get back to work.
Just a minute. This will have to do for now. But we'll have a real one in place in time for the opening. In recognition of your efforts, Mr. Perdue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Noodle. Hello, Katie.
Hi. Hello.
Katie, thanks for bringing Lauren over. Hope it didn't upset any plans you might have made.
No, Miss Gray.
Well, good. Because, I wanted to talk to you about the other night. Katie, I'm sorry if I upset you with what I said and how I said it. I want you to know how grateful I am that someone as smart, dependable, and enthusiastic as you enjoys spending time with Lauren and the rest of us. I think you know what you mean to Lauren. I know I do. And maybe I was Maybe I was jealous of that.
You shouldn't be jealous.
No, I shouldn't. But sometimes we do things and we feel things we shouldn't. So you and I still need to sit down and discuss what's best for Lauren. But right now I wanted to say I was sorry about the other night, and hope you accept my apology.
Sure I do. I was going to apologize to you. My mom says sometimes I have more personality than I know what to do with, and people don't know how to handle it.
Well, we'll both be more careful from now on. Okay?
Okay.
Well, I need to get back to work, so I'll walk you guys to the stairs.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, the drama erupts when Amy rules over a troubled teenager. Judging Amy is next on TNT.
I can't find any underpants.
They're on your head.
These are yours. They were on my door by mistake.
Well, look in the laundry basket.
Lawrence said you were awake.
I was writing an opinion till 3 a.m.
Well, Lauren told me you were awake.
I took a half a personal day, so yes, naturally I got up early to do yoga and write my autobiography.
No need to be sarcastic. I just want to remind you about the Royal Conservancy garden tour. Hello. Jillian, good morning. Oh, no, I'm up and dressed, ready to face the day. I find it disquieting to lie in bed and vegetate.
I was up very late last night. No one's listening to me.
No, Jillian, I can't think of a reason not to have lunch. Perhaps Amy will join us. No, she's been up for hours doing yoga and writing her autobiography.
There's somebody at the door.
I'll get it. Be nice to the woman.
Hi. Hi, Jillian. Good morning. Yeah. Oh, I'd love to have lunch with you today, but I gotta meet Peter about the Royal Conservancy garden tour. Yeah. Just put it down, honey.
I can bring it.
The .com Cafe, Harvard Street, 2 p.m. Yes, I will tell Mom. Thank you, honey.
There's a police officer at the door. He's asking specifically for you.
Jillian, the police are at the door, so I gotta cut it short. Okay. Yeah.
Take a sip, Mom. I put in honey and cinnamon and some chocolate chips.
Well, it's delicious, honey. Hello, I'm Amy Gray. What can I do for you?
We found some stolen property.
Were we robbed?
What's that?
It's a very dirty bicycle. According to the serial number, it belongs to Amy Gray. This address.
It can't be the one that was stolen when you were 11.
No, that bike was beautiful.
I can take it away if you like.
It's horrible.
Okay, then.
Oh, wait a minute. It is my bicycle. You found my bike.
Is this or is this not supposed to be the sports section? Yes, it is. So why is swimming on the front?
Vincent.
Swimming is not a sport. It's a stage of evolution.
Vincent!
What?
Where are the Cocoa Crunchies?
You hate Cocoa Crunchies.
Typical man. Eats all the Cocoa Crunchies. Then blames the victim.
What?
You turn on the heat, then you open the windows. You pee on the toilet seat, you never hang the bath mat.
You talking about the typical man? You're talking about me. I do not pee on the toilet seat.
You say the pots need to soak. They don't. You just leave them in the sink for me to wash. And quit reading sports to Ariadne. Sports are just channeled male aggression.
If there's something that we need to work out, then you sit down and we'll talk about it.
Don't use that tone with me.
What tone?
The she's hysterical, he's reasonable tone.
What is the matter with you?
Question is, what's the matter with you?
You hate Cocoa Crunchies!
Good morning, Your Honor. The people will show that 15-year-old Barry Gilmore, who goes by the name of Romeo, is guilty of manslaughter in the death of 17-year-old Juliette Bernard. In short, he seduced a lonely and impressionable girl into a mutual suicide pact, which turned out not to be mutual.
Mr. Erskine?
Juliette Bernard did commit suicide, Your Honor, but there is no way my client can be held legally responsible simply because he did not follow suit.
Ms. Ryan, what do you mean when you say Barry goes by the name of Romeo?
Well, as you can see, Judge Gray, Mr. Gilmore is a goth. Goth is an adolescent subculture characterized by an unhealthy fascination with vampires, the occult, dirge-like music, morbid romanticism, and death. Romeo is what the other goths call Mr. Gilmore.
And was Juliet a goth as well?
Oh, definitely, Your Honor.
Only after Barry Gilmore made her that way.
Mr. Gilmore, do you have anything to add before we begin?
Only that your system's corrupt, and it's meaningless, and you have no real power over me.
Please stand when you address the judge.
Why?
As a mark of respect.
Well, why should I respect her?
Because I have power over your life. You're an intelligent young man, and that's just a fact that you're gonna have to accept.
Well, you wouldn't understand anyway.
Well, unfortunately for both of us, it's my job to ask questions until I do understand.
What Juliette Bernard did, she did because she felt impelled by circumstance, because they tried to force us apart. What Juliette did is beautiful. Death is beautiful.
The little fella alone on the bench, that's Prince Sadler, right over there.
And your son is a friend of his?
I'm really not sure it's necessary to bring in a social worker.
As a school teacher, I'm a mandated reporter. I'm required to report even a suspicion.
A suspicion of what, Mr. Lowell?
This last week, Brent's become really dirty. I mean, really dirty.
He smells. And then there's this burn.
It's just a small burn, but it was left untreated.
Yeah, and he never wants to do play dates with my Jason anymore.
Do you think that Brent is being neglected by his parents?
Maybe we're jumping the gun on this one.
No, it's good you called.
What are you gonna do?
Well, first I'll talk with Brent.
Order up. All right, it's that time of year again. Somebody has to accompany Mom on the Royal Conservancy garden tour.
I'm more interested in why I cried over a bicycle this morning.
Did Mom write me out?
You cried over a bicycle?
Yeah, remember that bike that got stolen when I was 11?
Sure, the one with the snowflake banana seat? Ooh, pie and coffee all around.
Why did you cry?
I don't know. Look, we're off the subject of the bike, okay? Now, I went last year.
I took Mom last year. Remember, I got stung by a bee.
Hey, have you guys noticed anything odd about Donna lately? I don't want pie.
What do you mean, lately?
Well, she's incredibly cranky. She's it's like building up steam. I feel like she's about to explode.
What, and do something stupid like marry an axe murderer?
You got stung by a bee 2 years ago. I went last year.
Wait. What should I do about Donna?
Nothing. She's a loon.
She's not a loon.
And she's fallen in love with you, and she's angry at you for not reciprocating.
Donna's not in love with me.
Hey, you don't work insurance 18 years without learning a little bit about human nature. I think Vincent should go.
No.
On the garden tour with Mom.
No. When I was 16, I told Mom I was not interested in horticulture, and that has not changed.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors.
This is childish.
Garden tour.
This is incredible pie.
What you have for breakfast this morning, Brett?
Ravioli.
Did your mother cook that for you?
I like it cold.
You smell pretty good.
I must have got my mother's perfume on me when we hugged.
Did you bring something for lunch today?
Ravioli.
May I see? Do you think maybe I could talk with your mother?
She gets very tired, and she hates it when people bother her. If you have a message for her, maybe you can give it to me.
Mrs. Sadler? Mrs. Sadler? Brent?
I completed my graduate degree in abnormal psychology at Brown University. I've testified as an expert witness on the subject of adolescent trauma and mental disease as demonstrated through artwork.
Your Honor. Yes, Ms. Ryan, your objection to this witness is duly noted. Now, please, let Dr. Miles continue.
An artist's state of mind and mental development are reflected in his or her work.
What does your analysis tell you in this case?
May I? Since Juliette Bernard and Barry Gilmore met in art class and indeed shared the same influences, I was able to examine quite a large range of their work. For example, in this piece, you can see indications of a deteriorating ego and disassociation from reality.
Your Honor, I can see no such thing.
Dr. Miles, can you please be more specific?
Fragmented, tortuous figures, chaotic composition, dark motifs, recurring, swirling images of confusion, anguish, and despair, a lack of focus and organization. In my opinion, this artist displays all the hallmarks of suicidal tendencies.
So Barry Gilmore was depressed?
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. This wasn't done by Barry Gilmore. This is Juliette Bernard's work.
Doctor, are you able to gauge with any degree of accuracy just how sexually experienced the young artist might be?
Well, in my opinion, this artist was sexually sophisticated.
And what about Barry Gilmore?
Well, conversely, this is the work of an optimistic and energetic artist.
Your Honor, there are monsters, and there's darkness all over his painting, too.
Yes, the subject matter is undoubtedly immature. But see here, there's a cohesive, heroic figure fighting back the darkness. Well, the artist wants to be nihilistic, but just can't pull it off. This is the work of an impressionable, intelligent, sensitive, sexually naive boy.
Your Honor, these claims are...
No, I agree with her. This is good. Bull. You can't tell a thing about me just by looking at some stupid paintings. What? Take them down.
Very,
Art?
very...
You gonna tell me what my art means? Get off me! Get those out of here! Put them
Sorry,
down!
Your Honor.
Why? Just...
another half-calf soy cappuccino, extra hot, no foam. Coming right up.
Jillian, I'm late. I hope you ate something without me.
Oh, no, just coffee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Something came up. Well, I'm not going to bore you with that. Who are you chatting with?
What? Oh, no, I'm here alone. There's no one else. I mean, as you can see, I'm alone.
I met on the internet, Jillian. Could I have just some normal coffee, with no soys or nons or...
Someone I met in the Brief Parents chat room.
Ah.
It's been very helpful hearing how other people deal with the pain of losing a child.
Have you considered perhaps joining a group with live people in it?
I was thinking of meeting one or two of the people in the chat room in person. Kind of desperate for someone to talk to. Keep the change.
Do you mind if I ask how bad things are between you and Peter? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure I can discuss this with you, Maxine. Somehow I feel that by criticizing Peter, I'm criticizing you.
Well, I assure you we are completely separate human beings.
You raised him, you made him.
I know what Peter's like. I know he has trouble with strong emotion, and I know that because he's just like his father. And it used to make me want to scream. But underneath, it's a very good heart.
This is the first real conversation I've had in weeks. Except for my friends in the chat room.
There was a time in my life when Edward was unavailable to me emotionally. And there was no internet, so I turned to someone else. In real life.
You had an affair?
Not the way you mean, but yes, I risked my marriage. And I risked it because I didn't give my Edward the chance to rise to the occasion. I believe now that he deserved that chance because, well, from someone who loved him as much as I did. The thing you have to ask yourself is it too late?
I'm not sure.
I meant for lunch.
So did I. I had these plastic things that went here and here. They were neon colored, green and blue and yellow and orange. And then these ribbons, they were bright red with little gold flecks inside that came fluttering out of those handlebars there.
You must have clashed.
Yeah, well, we didn't care much about clashing in the 70s. I rode this bike everywhere. I had thighs of steel from doubling your Uncle Vincent on the banana seat over there.
Was that safe?
No, it wasn't. I loved this bike. And then one day, Mom sent me to get a packet of cigarettes for her, and I came out of the store, and it was gone.
Grandma shouldn't have sent you to buy cigarettes.
Well, times have changed, honey. Anyway, I thought that when I was done cleaning it, I'd give it to you.
It's got a big scratch on it.
No, this is where my daddy inscribed it for me. When I'm done cleaning it, I'm gonna give it to you.
Then I hope you never finish cleaning it up.
depend on seasonably cool weather on the Pacific coast. But it looks
Mrs.
like
Sadler!
Let's move now from the West Coast and see what's happening back east for the next few days. Right now, there's a high-pressure system moving in from Oklahoma and Texas, settling into the southeast part of the country that will bring with it temperatures in the mid-70s and 80s. This front will
Mrs. Sadler?
Would you come inside with me for a minute? An employee or former employee of yours, George Jowett.
Like a memory, it falls. Soft and warm, continuing, tapping on my roof and wall. My mind's distracted and confused. My thoughts are many miles away. They lie with you when you're
No, the boy's father is dead. His mother was the guardian.
kiss you when you
No forward address, no contact number of any kind. Thank you for your help. All right, thank you. My name is Maxine Gray. I'm a social worker in Hartford, Connecticut. It's imperative that I contact a Mr. George Jowett as soon as possible. Do you, by any chance, have a daughter-in-law named Marnie Sadler? I'm afraid I have some bad news. Marnie Sadler died approximately a week ago of insulin shock. Mr. Jowett, I'm glad you asked me that, because it's Brent I'm calling you about. Yes, he is.
Shrinking Violet?
Are you Dave?
Yeah. It's nice to finally meet you in person, Jillian.
Yes, you too.
Oh, that must be Ned.
Yes.
How cute.
Do you have a picture?
Oh, yes. This is Kelly.
Oh, she's very pretty.
Yes.
It's funny meeting like this because of our kids. Like they were playing at a playground and we sat on a bench and started talking about teachers and swimming lessons.
I wish those were the circumstances, Jillian.
Yes, I do too.
Here you go, folks. Enjoy.
You can pick us a seat.
I got 2 good ones over there. Pick a good spot to sit.
Perfect. Couldn't be better.
I want this one.
Then that's the one we'll get. Miss?
Yes, ma'am.
Barry, did you turn Juliet into a goth?
Juliet always had a goth soul. I just showed her how to dye her hair black.
How did the issue of a suicide pact arise between you?
Mr. and Mrs. Bernard totally freaked out one night when Juliet didn't come home. When they found out she was with me, they decided we shouldn't be together anymore.
You were lovers?
We were everything to each other.
You felt separation was unbearable?
If we couldn't be together in life, we chose to be together in death. Only love overcomes the senselessness of existence.
Who first introduced the notion of suicide?
It just came up between us. It was natural.
But it was Juliet who came up with the plan, isn't that true?
Juliet knew a guy we could get some pills from. Nebutal, Seconal, Darvon. I don't know, I traded my stuff.
Juliet's idea was for you to overdose.
We got a motel room. We drank vodka to help the pills work better. We were gonna make love one more time.
Just to be clear, Mr. Gilmore, did Juliet have the pill?
Excuse me, Mr. Erskine. But you didn't.
Didn't what?
You said you were going to make love one more time. That suggests you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Well, why not?
Maybe we didn't feel like it.
I find that odd. In all of your poetry and songs, you constantly refer to death as erotic.
So Juliet counted out the pills and you both took them with vodka, is that right?
Yeah. We were crying and we were a little drunk, so we just laid down on top of the bed. Look, it's kind of hazy. I don't really remember exactly.
And Juliet died?
First she threw up, but we knew that might happen, so she took more pills.
And did the drugs have the same effect on you?
Yes.
And did you take more pills?
You have to answer out loud.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I don't think it hurt her. I don't think it hurt her at all.
Barry, I need to know why you didn't take more pills.
Maybe I thought I'd taken enough to die.
But you didn't. You intended to go through with it when you went into that motel room.
Your Honor.
You shroud yourself in black. You paint your face white like a corpse. You wear skulls and crosses and tombstones.
Please,
Why
Judge.
didn't you keep your promise to die?
Because I was afraid. I was afraid to die. And all my talk about death, and all my poems, all my songs are so completely two-faced. I'm a hypocrite just like everyone else.
You two to cut a deal.
I beg your pardon?
Barry Gilmore can plead to any number of more minor charges. Attempted suicide, possession of narcotics, underage drinking, hell, throwing truancy, I don't care. He pleads to any one of those, I find him guilty, and put that kid into counseling before the end of the day.
Well, obviously, I'd prefer you find him guilty of manslaughter and order counseling.
Yeah, Miss Ryan, I realize that you like to boost your felony conviction rate, but that confused boy in there did not cause the death of Juliet Bernard.
I resent your implication.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
Your Honor, if you're going to find Barry non-culpable in Juliet Bernard's death, why should I advise him to plead out?
To save his life, Mr. Erskine.
You are out of bounds, Judge Gray.
He didn't make love to her.
What has that got to do with it?
If he were a sexual sociopath, he would have had sex with her before she died. It is obvious to me that Juliet Bernard was a sexually sophisticated young woman. She was 2 years older. She knew where to get drugs. She was depressed. And we were all fooled by the makeup and the black clothing and the attitude into thinking that Barry Gilmore was the one who was death obsessed. Barry didn't want to die. He was afraid. He didn't chug vodka and nail his girlfriend and wave goodbye to the world. Once Juliet was gone, his resolve failed. And sometimes they try again.
Who tries what exactly, Judge Gray?
Suicide pacts that go wrong. If we find him culpable in her death, it will only increase his sense of guilt and shame. And I don't know about you, but I don't want any part of helping that boy to try suicide again.
Has it occurred to you there's a twisted psychology at work here?
Yes, it has.
What do you think it means that you're down here at 7 o'clock on a weeknight refurbishing a long-lost childhood toy?
What do you think it means that it's a weeknight and you're afraid to go home?
Donna's usually asleep by midnight.
You know, Vincent, if she were in love with you, it would explain why she seems to hate you all of a sudden.
Nope. Sorry, it's classic transference. Donna's mad at Oscar, she's taking it out on me. Remedial Psych 101.
Vincent, did you feel close to Dad?
Nobody's close to Dad.
Well, I was. He adored me. I was his favorite.
Well, just you then.
And Mom.
Amy, when a man has a workshop as extensive as this one, it isn't because he wants to while away the hours with his wife and kids.
Well, look, I don't remember him saying I love you once. I mean, he was affectionate. He kissed me goodnight, he hugged me, he said he was proud of me and all that.
I think he remembered my name once. No, maybe I'm making that up.
He never said I love you. But when he gave me this bike, he etched the word love into metal with his bare hands.
It must make you feel pretty good then. Him doing something so out of character.
That's me and you. On this day, we went on bumper cars. I had to get in with you because your feet couldn't touch the pedals.
You bought me caramel corn. And my daddy was there.
Well, I'm your father's father. Remember? You used to call me Papa J.
When can I see my mom?
Brett, we are going in there to talk, all right?
Hasn't anyone told the boy his mother is dead?
He knows, Mr. Jowett. He just needs to feel safe before he can admit it. He slept beside his mother for a week, dousing her body with perfume, waiting for her to wake up. Mr. Jowett, I need to know why you've had so little contact with your grandson.
My son and Marnie had a contentious divorce and a pretty bad custody battle. In my opinion, they both behaved shamefully. I tried to get Marnie to let me come into her life, but she blamed me for the man my son turned out to be. I understand that, but she was wrong. Sometimes it just isn't the parents' fault.
Give me a moment.
Can you go see my mom now?
Brent, your grandfather is very upset about your mother.
Why?
He just can't believe she's gone. You know, what I think is that he really cared about her. And, he wonders how anyone so young and beautiful could just die. You and your grandfather are the last two people left in your family. That's too much sadness for one person to handle all by himself. Do you think you could help him?
I'm just a kid.
You're all he has, and he is all you have.
Do you think my mom's with my dad? Do you think they're together?
Yes, I do, Brent.
Michael is Papa Jay. Who's gonna take care of you?
It's all right. I won't be alone. None of us has to be alone.
My daddy can skip a rock 10 times.
Well, I don't like to brag, but I'm the one who taught him that.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Donna. I'm very glad you're home. I got something for you.
So? I hate Cocoa Crunchies. Do you really think I can't take you down?
Here's what I think is happening. I think that you're upset because you want out of your marriage. You're misdirecting your anger onto me.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Then don't be psychological at me.
Okay, the only other explanation is that you're in love with me. And if you're in love with me, then obviously we gotta talk.
No, in case you haven't noticed, my tastes run to a beefier, more manly kind of fella. Oscar makes 3 of you. Oh my God, you haven't fallen in love with me, have you?
What? No. No. What? No, you're the one who's treating me like crap. Okay. I may be overstepping here, but I think that you should divorce him.
On what grounds?
He killed his mother.
He was a murderer when I fell in love with him. What's different now? Nothing's changed.
He lied to you. I mean, you believed that he was innocent, but he's not. He did it. Look, when a person kills another person, it leaves a mark.
Especially when he uses an axe the way Oscar did.
I know it was you.
Oh, well, who else would it be doing laundry at this time of the night?
I mean the bike. Love, Daddy.
Your father loved you very much.
Then why did you have to write it?
Oh, Amy. He listened to you describe what you wanted. He ordered it especially, and he put it together right here. Took him forever. Man was all thumbs. And by the time he was done, he thought the bicycle said it all.
He put it together himself.
Word of God. But you were always an emotionally needy child. And you never could get enough of your father. So I helped the two of you out a little. Now, I'm sure you're going to say that I've thrown your entire relationship with your father into doubt.
You're a very good mother.
Hey, it's gonna be a divorce in the family.
Well, surely that's a little premature. We can't just give up.
Whoa. Wait, I'm talking about Donna and Oscar. Who are you talking about?
Donna and Oscar, of course.
So Donna's divorcing Oscar?
Yeah, huh?
Wow. Hey, help me take this bike upstairs. I married them. They were my first couple.
Listen, Donna doesn't really have enough money for a lawyer, so I'm gonna make you a deal. You help Donna find some pro bono legal advice, and I'll take Mom on that Conservancy Garden Royal torture thing.
That's all right. I'll do both.
Why?
I'd like to spend the day alone with Mom.
Why?
Hey, let's both go riding on my bike.
No, you're on your own.
Yeah, come on. I'll double you like the old days.
Double me, you scare me to death.
Oh, come on, chicken. Chicken.
Try to find another way. I'm taking what I gave to you again. Some new day, I could understand your face. You can even hold my hand if you would like to. It came up unexpected. I had to follow through, and it's hard when you were looking like you do.
Guess I'll go to bed.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
So this is a mistake. Try to find a better way. Every time you are expecting to reach out and forgive this, I was hardened by the look upon your face. Peter! Hey! You can put it back together. You were sorry if you ever wanted it, but you closed the door and said goodbye for good. Hey, come on! For good.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, there's nothing but drama when the detectives investigate a homicide. Solve the case with Law and Order.
It's the only one you own. You might use it if you feel better when you get home.
Steely Dan made danceable.
What's next? You know what this song reminds me of?
Shopping for produce?
Come on. I'm in the middle of a touching memory here. It was the summer of '74. I bought a Chevy convertible that burned oil like the retreating Iraqi Republican Guards.
I love that in a car. An Impala.
Yes.
Well, what did you expect?
You like me.
Do you like me?
What?
You like me.
Stop the music. Fellas, please. Would you stop? Please. Fellas. Play something nice. Are you free for lunch tomorrow?
I'm not free, but I am definitely in your price range.
My son Charles is going to be in town.
Please excuse my ill-timed gold digger joke.
I thought we could all have lunch.
Exactly which of the three of us would consider that a good time?
Maxine, I think that Charles hasn't apologized to you yet because he wants a chance to do it in person.
How long will he be in town?
Well, he's opening a new office for us here in Hartford. We're trying to consolidate.
So he'll be here for a while.
I think the phrase is the foreseeable future.
Well, it'll be so nice for you and Charles to have the chance to work closely here in Hartford for the foreseeable future.
Now Taylor's decided that she wants to be in Sarah Jane's group, so I don't have anyone to be in mine.
Why don't you be in Sarah Jane's group, too?
Because Susan Oglesby is in that group, and she hates me.
I thought you were doing Genie in a Bottle with Kelly and Rita?
They won't let me. Susan Oglesby told them not to.
Well, obviously, we need to have Susan Oglesby killed.
Life stinks.
Life does not stink, Lauren. Frankly, it's this so-called talent show that stinks.
I love the talent show.
Lauren, a talent show is when kids get up and exhibit talent. What your show has is a bunch of little cliques that get together and lip-sync Britney Spears songs.
But everybody's gonna be in it.
Well, fine, so be in it. But why don't you really do something? Look at a musical. Pick out a nice song and do a real number.
What's a musical?
Ooh, like Oklahoma? Or The Wedding Singer?
What about The Sound of Music? You could do Do Re Mi or The Cuckoo Song.
All by myself?
Sure. Why not?
We can watch it together this afternoon and pick out a song for you to sing. Oh, and I can help you with your choreography, and we could figure out a costume.
Okay.
You're welcome, honey.
This is gonna be so much fun.
Mommy's always here to help.
According to Gunther, the victim died of a heart attack. It was after the victim's death that Gunther dismembered and disposed of the body. I should dial 911, but there's that new chainsaw in the basement. Vincent?
I can't believe this. Right outside the cafe in the middle of broad daylight.
What?
I have an idea for a novel.
Good.
Out of nowhere, like it dropped out of the sky.
Well, that's great.
Let's go.
Where?
Well, I need a legal pad.
Vincent, we haven't paid. You can't just stiff the waitress because you thought of a novel.
I'm sorry to be late. Thank you for coming in. I received notification from a mandated reporter that one of your foster children was injured.
We had to take Jimmy to the emergency room. What happened?
Eric happened.
Eric? Well, he's generally a pretty good boy. He attacked Jimmy.
We were gonna call you anyway.
The other kids are picking up on it. We're having discipline problems. They won't make up, Maxine.
Eric was the aggressor. If we can't put this to bed, he'll have to leave.
Eric's had some very bad luck with foster placements in the past.
Believe me, we know. It's taken us nearly 6 months to gain his trust. We like Eric. We'd hate to lose him.
Your Honor, the reason Julie Baker has not had any contact with her parents in the last 5 years is that she feels she has suffered enough of their abuse and that any further contact would jeopardize her emotional sobriety.
What kind of abuse, Mr. Spurrier?
Clyde Palmer was a violent drunk with a history of...
Mr. Palmer's a recovering alcoholic, Your Honor.
Miss Rose, it is the respondent's turn.
Clyde Palmer terrorized Julie Baker throughout her childhood. He was physically abusive, he was emotionally abusive, he was psychologically abusive.
Your Honor, we're not here to argue about Julie Baker's childhood. The issue before the court is the Palmer's right to have a relationship with their grandchild.
In Troxel versus Grenville, Your Honor, the Supreme Court states that parents have the fundamental right...
Right, I've read that decision, Mr. Spurrier, and I'm sure you were also about to mention the 1996 Castagno case, which is the actual controlling case law in the state.
Exactly.
So, Miss Rhodes, in light of those previous rulings, what are we doing here today?
Sadly, Mr. Palmer has recently been diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and his prognosis is bleak. All he wants is a chance to get to know his granddaughter while he still has time.
Petitioners have filed on behalf of both the grandparents, Your Honor, not just the terminally ill one. Therefore, they are seeking ongoing visitation rights. And besides, death is not guaranteed to anyone.
You must know something I don't, Mr. Spurrier.
I mean predictable death, Your Honor.
Ah.
Mr. Palmer could go to Lourdes next week and be cured, and then this case is no different than Troxel versus Granville, which would render this way moot.
Well, despite its potential way mootness, I think the Palmers have a right to put on evidence that not visiting her terminally ill grandfather would seriously harm the child. So, despite those previous rulings, I am going to set this matter for hearing.
Your Honor, if I could bring your attention to this
Counsel, why don't you approach the bench? Mr. Spurrier, calm down.
This is all right. I thought it would take less time away from our house hunting. We skipped the swanky lunch.
Dad, I know about your coffee shop addictions. You don't have to make excuses.
Well, you're in for a real treat tomorrow night. We're dining at Maxine's house with her entire clan.
Oh, well, that sounds delightful. I'm looking forward to meeting them.
Yeah, and I've got some condos lined up for you to look at this afternoon.
Dad, would you calm down on the condos? I haven't even said maybe yet.
Oh, really? I was under the impression that this was definite.
Yeah, and I wonder how you got under that impression.
Hello. Oh, what? Excuse me. Yeah, Gene, yeah, okay. Yeah, put him through. Roy.
You know, Maxine, we haven't had a chance to talk yet.
Well, I
So
know.
I haven't had a chance to tell you that I really resent what you did.
What I did?
Our conversation was meant to be between you and me. Now, if you really care about my father as you claim, why would you want to hurt him by disclosing it?
No, to the office.
Charles, if you don't want me to hurt your father by telling him about the slimy, underhanded things you do behind his back, maybe the best approach would be to stop doing them.
Here you go.
So, can you describe the kinds of things that took place in your home on a regular basis in terms of your father's behavior?
He'd come home from work around 6 o'clock, and my mother would meet him at the door with a drink. I was supposed to leave him alone so he could unwind. Unwind meant have 3 or 4 more drinks. And a good night, he would just pass out on the sofa in front of the TV after dinner.
What if it wasn't a good night?
Yelling, screaming, cursing, throwing things. I would go and hide in my room. But often my mother would I think she would tell him stories about how I'd misbehaved to get his anger off of her. And then he would come in my room and beat me.
With his hand or...
His belt. A switch from a tree, the fly swatter, a hairbrush, whatever was around.
Objection. Your Honor, Clyde Palmer could have been the Marquis de Sade 25 years ago. How is that relevant to current circumstances?
Your Honor, the through line is vital here.
Well, given the fragile state of Mr. Palmer's health, you're not going to have any luck convincing me that he's going to be chasing his granddaughter around the room, trying to beat her with various objects.
Well, no, of course, but...
And according to Miss Rhodes, a much more recent and therefore pertinent part of the through line is Mr. Palmer's recovery from alcoholism, which I assume has had some effect on his alcoholic behavior.
Your Honor, recovery is just a word they're throwing around.
Are you telling me that you're afraid your daughter will be physically abused by your father?
Physically? No. I tried letting Claire spend some time with them about a year ago. And she came home in tears. She didn't know why. But I did. I grew up in that house. It's the way they talk to each other. It's who they are. The atmosphere in their house is poisonous. I barely survived it, and I don't want my daughter to be around it any more than I'd want her to play in a toxic dump.
You and Jimmy have always gotten along. What changed? 14 stitches. That's you really hurting. The Crofts are thinking about having you removed from the house.
They are?
If you can't explain your actions and make up with Jimmy, yes.
I've been in a lot of foster homes. But the Crofts are great. They're nice. The food's good. I think they like me.
Of course they like you. But they have to think about the welfare of the entire house.
He stole my t-shirt.
You fought over a t-shirt?
It was my Metallica t-shirt.
A t-shirt?
A Metallica t-shirt.
Finally got Ariana to sleep. Vincent! Could you grump a little quieter, please?
Sorry.
What are you working on?
The exclusive Baldwin Academy's controversial relocation to the top of Carter Drive. Fate of the free world rests on my choice of a lead. Hey! There's a reason those are crumpled.
I'm in a mood. Probably just being too hard on yourself. Rudy Lukatsky wanted a son. But more importantly, he needed a son.
That's something else.
What?
Perfect first line to a novel I'll never write.
Vincent, if you have an idea for a novel, you have to write it. You have an obligation.
2.
God, the universe, countless book clubs worldwide, yourself. How long would it take you to write it?
I don't know. The year, at least. I thought about cashing in my dad's mutual fund.
Oh, no, you can't do that. You incur outrageous penalties and give Peter a chance to feel smug.
So, what do I do? Explain to the landlord that I'm an artist, I can't be bothered by pedestrian concerns like rent?
I'll pay the rent.
Don't be ridiculous.
No, really. You can pay me back in babysitting services.
No, I don't.
Oh, Vincent, this is perfect. Don't wreck it with stupid macho pride. Are you a man or an artist?
I was kind of going for both.
Just do this, Vincent. Do it for the three of us.
Have you seen any signs of violent behavior since your husband stopped drinking?
No. No, not at all. I mean, he's not the most happy person. He's not a happy-go-lucky person. That's not his nature. And I have a problem with nerves. I always have. To tell you the truth, Julie's never been a picnic either. She's always had a very negative disposition. She's self-centered, always finding fault. I haven't had a good life. By the time Clyde straightened himself out, Julie wasn't talking to us anymore. Well, I had a little bit of hope when Claire was born, and she brought her over to visit a few times. But then Julie took her away. The doctors told us that Clyde only had about 3 months to live. Now, what would it hurt if we spent some of that time with our granddaughter? Just a few months of happiness out of an entire lifetime. Is that so much to ask?
Well, the guy was obviously living hell, but now he's just a sick old man.
Does that make him a better person?
Excuse me, Mr. Onward Christian Soldiers. Aren't you supposed to believe in forgiveness?
I do. I just don't believe in cheap grace.
What?
You've never read Dietrich Bonhoeffer? I keep forgetting that I'm smarter and better educated than you.
Yeah, and the loftiness of your intellect is exceeded only by the depth of your humility.
Dietrich Bonhoeffer was a Lutheran theologian who was killed in a Nazi concentration camp. He wrote about the difference between cheap grace and costly grace.
And the difference is?
Cheap grace is what people are looking for when they want to skip the part where they have to repent.
Well, grandfather stopped drinking. Doesn't that count?
Depends on why he stopped drinking. Was it because he felt lousy about the way he treated his daughter?
Well, you Grays certainly have all the bases covered. The ladies are public servants, and Vincent's an artist, and Peter's a financial whiz.
Oh, I'm hardly that. I'm just an insurance salesman.
Don't put yourself down, Peter. He runs his own business.
It's a highly underrated profession, if you ask me.
Insurance salesmen are like dentists. Everybody hates them until they need one.
You restore people's lives. I mean, actually, you all really do the same thing. You bring order to the chaos.
Not me. I feed off the chaos.
What's chaos?
It's your room after the brownies were here.
So Maxine says you're going to move here.
Yeah, possibly.
Probably.
Yeah, my father is trying to make me an offer that I can't refuse.
Are you married?
Well, no, but I've just never been able to find anybody who'd put up with me.
Well, you almost got married once.
Yes, well, she wised up at the last minute.
Then maybe you could date my mom.
Lauren, I have a lot of single friends.
Well, you folks are sure making the thought of moving here attractive. And Maxine, if this is any evidence of how you cook all the time, no wonder you can't get anybody to leave home.
Thank you, Charles.
This is nothing. You should see her dance.
I thought he was sort of nice.
Amy, there are a lot of nice sociopaths in the world. It may not be fair, but it's a fact of life.
You and Jared talked about this?
Oh, he thinks I don't understand, Charles. People are blind when it comes to their children. Except for me, of course. That's coming from downstairs.
Lauren? Lauren, are you okay?
Nothing ever could. So someone my youth or child. What? I'm practicing.
This is the song you're going to do for the talent show?
Yeah. Do you like it?
Well, I guess Kind of.
It's a fine song. Let's go finish the dishes, Amy.
I just thought you were gonna do something like Do Re Mi or the Yodel song.
I like this song.
She likes this song. Now let's go and let her finish practicing.
Yeah, but this song isn't. I mean, there's so many cute songs. Like, what about the Flipperty Gibbet song?
Grandma.
I'm trying, honey.
This is the song that everybody fast forwards through.
This is the song that Lauren has chosen, and she needs us to leave her alone so she can work on her act.
She's gonna make a fool of herself. A boring fool.
You're the one who wanted her to show her talent.
Well, I thought she might have some.
I must have done something good.
Hey.
Hey, sweetie. Where's the food?
What?
You were supposed to order.
Oh, oops.
I only have half an hour. You working on your novel?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Great.
Trying to get a lot done before your staff meeting?
I don't have a staff meeting. I quit.
You quit?
Yeah, I'm a real writer again. I mean, I was always a real writer, but I was a hopelessly blocked real writer, just killing time as a reporter.
Oh. I thought you were making a living.
Yeah, that was secondary.
So, how are you gonna do that now?
Babysitting. Donna and I worked out a deal. She's gonna pay the rent in exchange for my taking care of Ariadne. It's a perfect arrangement for both of us.
So Donna's gonna be supporting you and you're gonna be raising Ariadne?
I know it's a little unconventional.
No, it's actually a very conventional family. So I'm the mistress?
Yep. You're the mistress.
Okay, great. Just checking. Can I be the mistress now?
After this paragraph.
She says you argued over a t-shirt.
And that's what happened.
You and Eric have been good friends.
Yeah, well, that was before.
Before what? I have to resolve this, or one of you will have to leave the house.
Eric should be the one to leave.
Why? Exactly.
Because he's a fag.
You know better than to use that language, Jerry. Did he proposition you?
You mean make a move? Of course not. He wouldn't dare.
Then why do you suddenly think he's homosexual?
I found his stroke magazines, okay? Looking for his Metallica t-shirt, I found them. They were full of naked guys. Nasty.
So you confronted him and he beat you up. There had to be more to it than that. You threatened to tell the Crofts, didn't you? Jimmy.
All I wanted was that stupid shirt. He never wears it anyhow.
If you had tried to blackmail me, I would have hit you too.
Hey,
Hey,
what are you doing?
picking out hair.
Hair?
Yeah, I want to change. Thinking Meg Ryan, you've got mail. That I'm too cool to even brush my hair look.
I like your hair the way it is.
Maybe Winona Ryder. She always looks so sophisticated and independent.
Do I get a vote on this?
I don't think so. You change your life without running it by me. I think I can change my hair.
You angry at me?
Angry? Oh, I don't think so. I just need to distance myself from you.
Why?
Because I don't trust my own judgment anymore. Your life seems weird to me. And then I think, is this weird? Really? Seems weird. But maybe I'm too conventional to have an artistic boyfriend. But I saw Henry and June. I know how you people are.
Okay, I'm not Henry, and I'm not you people.
Look, I had an idea. I made a dinner reservation tonight for us at Christini's.
I can't tonight. I'm having dinner with my friend Jody.
Who's Jody?
Just someone I used to hang out with when I was single. I've lost too much of what my life used to be. I'm so wrapped up in your life, and your life is so possibly weird.
I really think you're overreacting.
Maybe. I don't know. I just need to figure it out for myself. I have to get back to work.
I am not a fag.
Please don't use that language.
I don't want to leave the Crofts.
You think that's what would happen if Jimmy told him you were homosexual?
Everybody hates fags, except for other fags.
You're 15, Eric. You don't know what you are yet. And what you say about gay people is not true. Not for everyone. Some things about who we are we can change, and some things we cannot. And decent people like the Crofts understand the difference.
I'm sorry I hit Jimmy. Things are going great at the Crofts. I got friends. I like the school. Why do they gotta know what Jimmy says?
You have a right to your privacy. But it would be better to live without keeping certain things a big secret. If the Crofts know what you're going through, they can help. You don't have to worry about what Jimmy says.
I was not a perfect father. I was a better father than I got credit for, I think, though.
Would you say you made most of your mistakes while under the influence of alcohol?
Absolutely.
How long ago did you stop drinking?
5 years and 72 days now. I don't need a bunch of strangers giving me a cake. I can read a calendar. And I don't need to keep beating myself up about the past. I got my daughter to do that for me.
You heard your daughter testify that there were problems when she tried to let you spend time with your granddaughter.
That's not true. We had no problems in our house. We had a good time with Claire. She had fun. She had fun with us.
Why do you think your daughter says there were problems?
Well, my theory, I think Claire would come home and say what fun she'd had, and that would make Julie mad. She'd start bad-mouthing me and tell all her hateful stories. And then Claire would get upset. Claire sees me as I am now. A mother won't let go of the past.
Mr. Palmer, is there anything you'd like to say to your daughter about the past?
Of course, plenty I'd like to say.
Well, this would be a good chance.
You ever think what my life was like all those years? Or can you ever think of anybody besides yourself?
Eric is, homosexual?
I'm not sure he knows what he is. But certainly he's struggling with impulses in himself he dislikes.
Gay impulses.
If he is gay, he'll need people he cares about to accept that in him, so he can accept it in himself.
This is a problem.
The most important thing is that you know what he's going through and can help. Oh, no. No, Alan, please. Irene, this is exactly what Eric feared. This is why he fought with Jimmy. Your rejection will destroy this kid. Please.
We're simply not prepared. If we'd had some warning...
What Eric needs are foster parents that understand his life choices.
Choices? Believe me, this is not Eric's choice.
It is if he chooses to act out his homosexual impulses.
It's not fair to the other kids.
We want what's best for Eric. A more conducive environment for his particular lifestyle.
I guess you're right. He certainly deserves much better.
We're sorry.
Yes. I'll let Eric know how sorry you are.
It's open.
Hi.
Hey. How was dinner?
Halfway through the hors d'oeuvres, I remembered why I don't have dinner with Jody anymore. She's really boring.
Oh.
And then I remembered why I fell in love with an artist in the first place.
Oh, because I'm not boring?
Don't make it sound so unromantic. And then I drove around for a while and I thought about us. And I realized that a lot of our problems are really... A lot of it is really my problem.
Really? What problem is that?
Your whole family thing? I mean, whether it's weird or enmeshed or a paragon of family mental health, I'm jealous of it. I mean, you met my parents. I wish I liked them enough to be too close to them, but they make me wish I'd been raised by wolves. And the Donna thing, I blew a gasket about her supporting you because, and this is not noble, okay? I'm not proud to admit this, but I realized I was angry because I have never had anyone to support me. My parents, they didn't even help put me through college because they didn't approve of my impractical major. And yet I've given money to all my more practical siblings because they're drowning in debt, and yet they're still considered the successes. I am so tired of being strong.
Carol, I love your strength.
I know you do. Everybody does. Everybody loves strong people because they never ask for anything. But that doesn't mean that they don't need anything.
What do you need right now?
I need to be a mess.
Go for it.
Later, probably some chocolate wouldn't hurt.
Someday, when I'm a famous novelist, I'm gonna pay for all your chocolate.
Because battered women hiding from their husbands don't need publicity. Fred, I'm going to call you back.
I was in the neighborhood.
Really?
Well, I was after the taxi dropped me off. Before that, I was driving out to the airport. Charles.
He's gone?
Yeah, he made his decision. He doesn't want the job. He likes living in South Carolina, and he likes his law firm.
Are those the only reasons?
Who knows?
Jared? We don't like each other. Charles and I.
I'm aware of that.
And I don't think that time is going to cure that. And frankly, I don't think it's my fault. And even more frankly, I'm not sure how you and I can have a serious relationship when I think your son is a jerk.
Maxine, people our age come with baggage. I mean, everybody comes with baggage, but when you're in your 20s, you know, it's just an ugly beanbag chair, a pile of student loans. But people our age, we come with some serious stuff. Yeah? I come with Charles. And I know he's not everybody's cup of tea.
Meaning people who are sticklers for little things like, say, being treated decently.
I've always had a soft spot for him because he's always been kind of, well, I don't know, he's socially awkward. Just the opposite of the other two kids. I mean, they're charmers. Got that from me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Charles used to talk to me about it. He said he always thought that other people had some kind of a handbook that he didn't get. Always a struggle for him to deal with people. I felt he needed someone on his side. And that someone became me. You don't have to like Charles. You don't even have to pretend to like Charles. You don't have to be in the same room with him ever again. But just don't hold him against me.
Frankly, this has been a very depressing case. The petitioners have not succeeded in convincing me that the child would suffer harm if kept from her grandfather in the remaining months of his life. In fact, from what I've observed, I think the child is much more likely to suffer harm if thrown into this mess. It seems everyone involved here is obsessed with finger-pointing, and no one is interested in forgiveness or repentance. So, I am denying the petitioner's request for visitation rights. Next case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're right about one thing, Your Honor. She's not a bit interested in forgiveness.
That's my stuff.
Yes, it is.
Where am I gonna live now?
That's how you and I are going to spend today.
I'm changing schools. So yeah. I knew this was gonna happen.
I didn't. I thought the Crofts were wonderful people.
They are. They're the best people I ever met. They liked me. They liked me.
Eric, you are one of the stories I tell people when they ask why I do this job. I tell about a boy so undernourished that he was blind for a year. You've overcome so much with so little help. 2 years ago, you couldn't even read. Look at you now, top of your class.
So, everybody hates fags.
Everybody does not hate fags. We are going to go and find you the most wonderful foster home. And you know what? If we don't, you can come and live with me at my house.
Really?
Shame on the Crofts. Shame on them. I would be proud to have you in my house. On one condition.
What?
You stop using that word fag. I hate that word. Except when one gay person uses it with another, and then it's funny. I don't know why. Put your belt on.
Performing her original composition entitled Peace. Next is Lauren Cassidy singing Something Good.
Perhaps I had a wicked childhood. Perhaps I had a miserable youth.
I coached Lauren, she would have been singing the Yodel song.
Amy,
And
she's...
does Katie even show her face?
Amy, she's fine.
No, it's my fault. I should have let her lip sync. I mean, it's really the school's fault. This whole thing is stupid.
Excuse me. I'm sure this little girl worked very hard on her act.
On this?
Her mother could be sitting anywhere around here.
I am her mother.
Oh.
I've never seen either one of them before.
What am I going to say to her?
I'm going to say, darling, you were wonderful.
But she wasn't wonderful.
You're allowed to lie to children about things like this, Amy. It's in the Bible.
But don't you think that's part of the problem with kids today? You know, it's politically correct to tell them that everything they do is brilliant, even when it's not. We validate them when they don't deserve validation, and then it doesn't mean anything when they do. Don't you think it makes them grow up with all sorts of entitlement issues?
No, I don't.
Well, at least I can always count on you to tell me the truth.
Amy, do you remember in the 9th grade when you wore those flesh-colored leotards and danced to Lady Godiva in the middle school talent show?
Yes.
No matter what I said at the time, you weren't wonderful.
Okay, I will think of something diplomatic to say, but I am not gonna lie.
Mommy, Grandma!
Hey! Hi, sweetie.
How was I?
Well, sweetie, you were... brilliant.
Really?
Absolutely. You were the best thing in the show.
Why don't we get ice cream to celebrate?
Okay, I'll go get my stuff.
Was I ever wonderful when you told me I was wonderful?
Once or twice.
Once or twice? When?
Just now.
Okay, that was one. When is the second one?
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, an old case comes back to haunt Amy. All the drama of judging Amy is next on TNT.
going to take this dining room table?
Well, we don't need anything furniture-wise, so Winnie can have it all if she wants it.
Mom, I told you, if you're not going to take everything with you, I mean, you should just have a garage sale, you know, and then use the money for something you really need.
Winnie, that's too much trouble.
I have to go, so Mom, you know where to reach me?
Yes. Hey, kiddo. After school, we're just gonna lounge around and watch cartoons.
You'll be watching alone. Rebecca has to finish reading Runaway Ralph. She has a book report due tomorrow. Bye, baby. Bye, Mom. Winnie?
He's late. It's first day. He's late.
You talked to him on the phone. Maxine, how committed did he sound?
Committed. Probably just hit some bad traffic.
Well, let's get started without him because I have to get back to DCF.
Why don't we start with case reports?
All right, I told people what we were looking for, and these cases were referred to me from East Hartford PD. Okay, we have a child-on-child sex abuse with a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old who alleges his stepfather sexually abused him, a preschooler who's been followed by her music teacher, a molesting grandfather.
Wait a minute. Is that Roseland Preschool?
No, Green Day. Someone named Phil Nevins.
Oh, God.
You know him?
I am familiar with his work. This is Mr. Phil, the monster of Roseland. He molested 6 little girls last year. We were never able to bring charges against him. The state's attorney thought the victims were too young to be reliable witnesses.
Okay, this is a 3-year-old. No witnesses, no physical evidence.
Well, of course. I can't believe this.
Why is this guy worse than the others?
Oh, he's the one that got away. I threw everything I had at him. And at the end of the day, nothing stuck. And here he is, a bald-faced nerd.
It's personal.
No, of course not. I've never even seen the man. Where is Green Day?
Can somebody help me with this? Ladies, sorry I'm late. I'm Jonathan Ashworth. I'm the new assistant state's attorney.
Mr. Ashworth,
Yeah.
I'm Maxine Gray, DCF. And this is Megan Chestnut, our consulting therapist. Dr. Fran Winston.
On side, medical.
Social worker.
Sarah Flitzman. Hi.
Detective Shelley Tran, Hartford PD. Hi.
Well, ladies, consider me your go-to guy. I'm here to get the bad guys and kick some butt. I don't know about you, but I expect to have some fun. Now, one of you gals want to tell me where I can put this?
Carl Wilner's an 8-year-old who's been missing school, and the school is convinced his parents are deliberately keeping their son out of class and have asked DCF to investigate. Okay, Mr. Redfield.
Your Honor, Carl Wilner is biologically male. However, his parents, Harry and Pam Wilner, are allowing this young boy to grow his hair long and have sent him to Roscoe Elementary School in a girl's uniform. This year, when Carl entered 2nd grade, his parents registered him under the name Sasha Wilner.
Sasha?
He prefers to be called Sasha.
Carl's appearance has created quite a disruption at school and has made him the victim of numerous attacks, both physical and verbal. After several fruitless conversations with the Wilners, the school finally contacted DCF out of concern for the child's safety and psychological well-being.
Your Honor, there have been no allegations that the Wilners have been abusive to their son. In fact, we maintain they are loving parents who've been trying to give an idiosyncratic child the chance to find himself.
Find himself in what way?
Carl has exhibited non-conforming gender behavior from the age of 2. After years of trying to resist these tendencies, the Wilners were counseled to support Carl in his search for gender identity.
You said we're talking about an 8-year-old?
Yes, Your Honor. It's our contention that Roscoe Elementary has been seriously remiss in its duty to protect Carl from harm while on school grounds. If there's been any psychological damage, it's been at the hands of his peers and some of his teachers.
What is the school supposed to do? Provide a personal bodyguard for the kid? As long as he's wearing a skirt and knee socks, he's a target.
The Wilners have felt it necessary to remove their son from school and keep him home for his own protection.
Thereby subjecting him to educational neglect since he's not being home tutored.
All right, well, I don't see a need for a change of custody at this point. However, I am going to order a psychological evaluation for the whole family, and we'll continue this hearing when the evaluation is completed.
Itsy spot. This time let's really get the spider out.
itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again. That was great, you guys. What should we sing next? Alrighty, Samantha, come here. Oh. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish and swish. Can I help you?
Phil Nevins?
Yes. Sweet.
Mr. Nevins, I've spent the last year following your career.
My career?
I'm with the Department of Children and Families.
You'll have to leave now. You've no right to be here.
You're very clever targeting the littlest ones. The ones who can't defend themselves or stand up to you in court.
I've asked you once to leave, now I'm telling you to go. You're not supposed to be here.
I realize that you are a very sick and pathetic human being, Mr. Nevins. And I don't care. I don't care what I have to do. I'm not going to let you hurt another child. I promise you, never again.
Who the hell do you think you are? What gives you the right to make an accusation like that? Answer me. Who the hell are you?
Excuse me. I'm the director here. May I help you?
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm with DCF. I brought you some new neglect abuse forms and the revised summary of the reporting laws.
Oh, thank you. Usually we get these through the mail.
Yes, well, we ran short of stamps today. If you'll excuse me.
Laundry day?
Comes around. Your daughter says goodbye. Try to keep it together for another day.
How's it going, Mr. Mom?
It's not bad. I usually get about an hour or so of writing done a day. In between playing, eating, hysterical crying jags, napping. It's not even taking Ariadne's schedule into account.
Hello, Vincent. Goodbye, Amy. I can't take Lauren to karate today.
Okay. Bye, Mom. Do you see that attitude?
What attitude?
That judgmental attitude. Mom totally disapproves of my relationship with Rob.
Oh, why? Because he's a good 15 years younger than you are?
You're in on this too?
Amy, you have every right to be seen in public on the arm of someone who no one else can figure out what the hell you're doing with.
Is that supposed to be a statement of support?
Just know that that's what you're doing, and don't get all revisionist.
Meaning what?
Meaning I've seen you try to retrofit boyfriends before. This place is a lot more interesting than the fluff and fold.
It's 11 years, okay?
I suppose I just wanted to get a look at him. I wanted to put a face. It was a mistake going there. I don't like mistakes.
You wanted to see. That's not a mistake. You made me that crazy. I don't want to see too.
I'm not crazy. Not yet, anyway.
If you're certain about this guy,
I am certain.
well, in that case, there are steps that could be taken.
I've taken every step there is, every process and protocol and procedure.
Well, maybe you have and maybe you haven't. Look, I'm just saying there are things we could do to make sure he was in harm's way.
Shelley, you have no idea how much I want Phil Nevins off the street. But I won't do anything that could call into question what we're doing here.
I thought one of the things we were supposed to be doing is helping people maneuver through the system.
Maneuver, not circumvent.
It's all in the shading.
No, it is not.
I guess it's a cop thing. Occupational hazard.
Gender dysphoria or gender identity disorder can be described as an aversion toward the physical and social characteristics of one's biological sex and a corresponding affinity for those of the opposite sex. This would include the desire to wear the clothing of the opposite sex, participate in the games and pastimes of the other sex, and in some cases, an express desire or insistence that he or she is the other sex. He's an 8-year-old boy. Does he even know there's an opposite sex? What would be the male equivalent of a tomboy?
RuPaul.
I'm serious. It would be what? A sissy.
Not a real equivalent. Sissies are ostracized, tomboys are encouraged. The rules are a lot looser for girls. Goals, measures of success, completely different calibration. Girls get away with murder.
So how's your sister doing?
Fine.
Right.
Angie first came to DCF's attention 2 years ago when she disclosed to a Sunday school teacher that her mother's boyfriend, Ricky, had fondled her.
Once? Twice?
She was 5 at the time. It was hard to get a clear story.
Medical evidence?
No. We investigated, but by then the boyfriend had moved out of the house and we didn't feel we had much of a case, so it didn't go anywhere.
Did the mom tell you that he moved out, or do you know for a fact that he moved out?
Mom said they broke up, and I went by the house once and there was no sign he lived there, so...
So you moved on?
I had 30 other cases.
Sure. Right.
Ricky is apparently back on the scene, and
Angie has disclosed to a friend's parent that Ricky occasionally takes showers with her. The police took an initial report, and I'm going out tomorrow.
I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want you interviewing her unless I'm there.
What I'm most concerned about is this. Do I pull Angie out of the house or not? The mom swears the relationship with Ricky is over.
Yeah, but that's what she said last time, and now the kid's become his shower buddy.
Jonathan, I want to hear what Sarah has to say.
How much do we need to hear? DCF dropped the ball. This time, let's not screw it up. Just get the kid out of the house, then nail the boyfriend.
My concern is that she's an emotionally dependent child who would not do well in foster care, especially if we're going to want her to testify.
Just get her out of the house.
Jonathan, this is a team meeting. The purpose being to strategize about the child, her family, and the psychological consequences of the case.
I'm just trying to get a little momentum going here, that's all. You're the experts. I just wish someone had been a pro and done it right the first time. It'd make my job a lot easier.
We started worrying about Carl when he wanted to be Cinderella for Halloween when he was 4. It took us till Thanksgiving to talk him out of the costume. We're just trying to let him be the person he wants to be. Isn't that what you're supposed to do as parents?
If Carl had said he was a vampire, would you have let him wear a Dracula costume to school every day?
Listen, I'm not happy about this. You know, we tried to encourage more male behavior, but what if we were wrong? What if we were forcing him into something that just isn't right? I mean, he was miserable when we wouldn't let him dress up.
Well, Mr. Wilner, weren't you concerned that Carl would be victimized if he showed up at school dressed as a girl?
Of course we were. But it's what he wanted so much. What, I'm supposed to tell him I won't love him if he doesn't wear pants? My own father won't talk to me because of this. He has some pretty strict ideas about what a man's supposed to be and what a father's supposed to do. That's him. That's the kind of dad he was.
Aside from outward appearances, do you notice any change in your son since you allowed him to dress as he wishes?
He's laughing. Whatever the hell else is going on, at least I hear him laugh again.
Hey.
Hello.
You're just in time. I need a hand. Could you hang this on the wall for me? There's already a nail in the wall.
Oh, of course. How's that?
It looks a little crooked.
Jonathan, I was hoping we could talk for a moment about this project and what we hope it can be.
Sure.
First, I sense great enthusiasm from you.
Nobody else wanted the job.
Ah.
See, they'd hear it was you on the phone, and people started diving under their desks like it was an air raid. I figured any job that was so universally despised had to be an opportunity, and I was right. So I get to be tough on crime and look compassionate at the same time.
You have a lot of spunk, Jonathan, and we can use that here. But we have to remember that some of the people we're trying to help have had bad experiences with official government. We're trying to reduce that friction, move things along smoothly.
I hear you. That's what I love about what we're doing here. The streamlining. It lets us make this beautiful end run around the ACLU. What are they gonna say? We're helping sexually abused kids. We're liberal proof.
I'm a little surprised by your take on this, Jonathan.
Hey, I'm the one who's surprised. If anybody else had come up with this vertical integration scam, the political correctness people would be all over it. But coming from you, boy. Well, I guess that's like what they say. Only Nixon could go to China.
Hey, you.
Hi.
So, you read any good books lately?
What?
I'm serious. What do you like to read? We never talk about things like that.
Well, I just finished reading The Perfect Storm.
Oh, wow, that's supposed to be good. Did you like it?
Yeah. It was exciting. I like the movie better. What have you read lately?
Oh, I'm not really reading that much. I'm working on George Stephanopoulos' autobiography and John Cheever's last novel and a little bit of Flannery O'Connor.
Oh, I don't really read much fiction.
Oh, well, you'd love this Cheever. It's only 100 pages long. I'll get it for you.
Sure. I'd like that.
Oh, great.
Amy.
Ma, this isn't high school.
Then why are you still living in my house?
Well, Lauren's not even here, so, what's your problem with my seeing Rob tonight?
Amy, has it ever occurred to you that I might be sitting here doing something other than monitoring your comings and goings?
You're not?
I wish I could get it through your otherwise reasonable skull that I am not the one obsessing about you and Rob. You are.
So how's it going? Sanctuary House.
I'm beginning to understand why these people were kept in separate buildings.
Why?
Because doctors and the police and lawyers don't really like each other. They get along like cats and dogs. More cats.
Mom, I know you want this to work, but I think you might want to be a little careful.
About what?
Well, I'm looking at this as a judge. You might have some civil liberties questions around privacy issues and sharing information among agencies.
Now is a bad time to point that out to me.
Well, when was I supposed to talk to you about it? We've been clocking a good 30 seconds every day, passing each other, coming and going. If you'd wanted my perspective on this,
You would have penciled me in. Thank you very much.
No, I'm just saying there would have been an opportunity.
There would have been an opportunity if you weren't sneaking out of here every night in search of your second adolescence.
Wow. Are we having one fight here or two?
I am not fighting. I'm going to bed. You do not follow me at this time.
Thanks for talking to me today, Sasha.
You're very welcome, ma'am. I didn't know they had girl judges.
Yeah, yep, they do. And I am one.
I like your hair.
Thanks. Thanks. I like yours.
I want it longer so my mom can teach me to French braid it.
And your clothes are very pretty.
This is my best school uniform.
Now the other boys, they wear a different uniform to school, right?
Oh, I'm not a boy anymore. I'm a girl.
Oh, really?
I think there was a mistake somewhere. Things like that happen.
What kind of mistake?
I didn't like it, the whole boy thing. Mostly I hated the clothes. I like girls' clothes. I used to have to steal them, and I know it's wrong, and I'm sorry I did that. And I had to hide them and only wear them when no one was around. But now I don't have to hide them. They're there in my closet, and I can wear them anytime I want.
And what about your old boy clothes?
They're in boxes in case I ever want them, but I don't think I ever will. Girls' clothes are better. Don't you think they're better?
What do you think would happen if you put on your old boy clothes, Sasha?
Well, I guess I'd be a boy again, but I'd much rather be a girl. It's better. You wouldn't want to be a boy. Believe me, I know.
How do you think I feel? He compared me to Richard Nixon. Favorably.
So you think he has political aspirations?
I think he's in there writing his speech for Bob Jones University.
We have to get rid of him.
Why? Because you don't like his politics?
Friend, he's an assistant state's attorney. I can't just change him like a light bulb.
He said no one else wanted the job.
Well, he's the wrong guy for us. His attitude is wrong. His tactics are wrong. His motives are wrong. Someone who walks in here and sees that big flag of his, they'll think it's a police station. No offense.
None taken.
And that simply wasn't the idea. This was supposed to be a safe place to help kids, not a place to build careers. He doesn't care.
And that disqualifies him.
It makes it impossible to work with him.
If you say so.
You're going to have to do something about him.
I am?
I can't work with him.
Can't or won't?
You get the same result. Either way.
She fell asleep at 8.
Where's Mom?
She went to bed after the news. How's class?
Okay. What's all this?
Stuff from the china cabinet. Mom doesn't want any of it.
Wow, Dad's 1956 high school track medal. What? Are you taking this?
Yeah. You want it?
Yeah.
Then you should take it.
Do you remember this? He bought this for our trip to Sarasota.
Why don't you take it all?
I don't want it all. I'm just possibly suggesting that we talk about it before it gets packed up, that's
Hey,
all.
you know what? Whatever. Why don't you and Mom discuss it and decide what you want me to have?
Winnie, what's the problem?
I don't have a problem, Bruce. I'm used to this, okay? You and Mom figure everything out, and I'll just trail along behind you waiting for my instructions.
Winnie? She is moving in 2 days. It's happening. Nothing is going to change that now.
I know.
How about dealing with it like an adult? You're 30 years old, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and still getting the leftovers.
What?
There's the face. It's the innocent face, like you just have no idea what I'm talking about.
It looks like that because I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
It's about me getting shortchanged, Bruce. Or did you just think you were entitled to the big room, and I deserve the little one?
Winnie, please, the big room, the little room?
Okay, maybe it was natural selection that put you in private school and sent me to public.
You went to Arts Magnet, where you probably had a lot more fun painting pictures than I did dealing with Sister Rita Bernard.
And how supportive do you think Mom would have been of me if I'd come home with a baby and no husband?
Winnie, don't you have more important things in your life to worry about than keeping score from 20 years ago?
I've had a lot of practice, Bruce, because the game's been rigged for 20 years.
Oh, how do you figure it's been rigged?
Well, how else do I end up with a roommate and a cat?
Maxine! You must be psychic. We were just coming looking for you. Yeah, I think I figured out a way to get you Mr. Phil.
Oh?
Shelley was telling me what a burr in your saddle this guy is, so I started thinking, these creeps don't get their kicks one way. Odds are he's on the internet. Now, I've got a drinking buddy. He works sex crimes down at the B of I. You see where I'm going with this?
I'm not certain.
If Mr. Phil is looking for action in a chat room, I can whip up probable cause. We can seize his hard drive, maybe even find something to link him to the Roseland kids. But one bad picture, and bam, he's a registered sex offender. So what do you think? Not bad for a guy who just rolled through the door?
Very impressive, Jonathan.
Oh, I understand. You don't want to get your hopes up. Well, it smells good to me. I'm gonna call my pal at the bureau. Thanks, Shelley.
Don't mention it.
Maxine, hold up. I need you to talk to this guy. You'll like him.
Shelley. Fran's a good doctor, but she's got to work on her people skills. Before I let this proceed.
Let it proceed? You heard him. He's like a kid in a candy store.
Before I let this proceed, one question. If he gets a warrant and finds something on Phil Nevin's computer, how will it have gotten there?
It will have gotten there through the folly and arrogance of mortal man.
Hey, so good job today, guys, okay? See you later. Good job? Bye. Good job? You ready? Amy.
Hi.
Hey, did I forget something?
No. I just had a minute, so thought I'd stop by.
Amy, this is Judy Kepler. Judy, this is Amy Gray, Lauren's mom.
Oh, hi. Yeah, Lauren's great.
Yeah, I think so too.
Judy's a new instructor.
Oh, great. Great.
We're gonna go get some coffee. Do you want to come along?
No, thanks. No.
If it's private, I can take a hike.
Private?
About Lauren?
Oh, no. Oh, no, it's no big deal. I just was, around the corner.
So I'll see you later on.
Absolutely.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
Later?
Later.
Hey.
Hi. I brought you a book. You probably already have it.
Oh, what a paradise it seems.
Yeah, I was gonna give it to someone. No, I don't think I will.
Why not? It's a great book. It's the last thing Cheever wrote. Last things are special.
Is John Cheever still in fashion? I mean, do people read him anymore?
Oh, the really good stuff never goes out of style. Who are you gonna give this to?
I was gonna give it to Rob.
But you changed your mind. Why?
Because if I gave it to him, he'd feel obliged to read it and then tell me what he thought and maybe pretend to like it when he didn't, and suddenly a night of wild abandon is interrupted by a book report.
How's that going, the wild abandon part?
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, evidence to the contrary, you can't ignore Mom. It is possible to turn off her voice in your head. Unless, of course, it's starting to reverberate with some of your own thoughts.
He's got a bookcase in his apartment. An empty bookcase. I don't understand it. How can you be an adult and have an empty bookcase? The other day, Mr. Wilner was asked, what if his son had come to him and said he was a vampire? would he have indulged him? Well, I believe if Carl Wilner had decided to be a vampire or a tiger or a dump truck, we wouldn't be here today. Gender is so much at the core of our identity that as soon as someone even hints they might want to switch teams, we take it pretty seriously. Of course, we are talking about an 8-year-old. Now, maybe Sasha is transgender. Maybe he thinks that his mother or his grandmother or the Powerpuff Girls represent good qualities that he wants in his personality. Or maybe he just likes girls' clothes. At this point, we can't know that any more than this child can. It's just too soon. Now, I am convinced that Mr. and Mrs. Wilner are loving, caring parents, but this issue of gender has disturbed them as much as it has the rest of us. So, Mr. and Mrs. Wilner, I want you to begin counseling along with your child as you move through this period. And I want Carl back in school in the most non-disruptive way possible. Sasha.
Yes, ma'am?
I want to ask you to do something that's going to make things a lot easier for you and your parents.
What?
You have such a great imagination that I want you to pretend to be a boy when you're at school.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that when you're at home, you can be whoever you want to be. But for a few hours every day, I'd like you to wear some of your old clothes and pretend to be a boy. Just while you're at school.
Do I have to cut my hair?
No. No, you don't. And I will do whatever I can to make sure that you don't have any trouble at school. And if there are no more unexcused absences in the next 3 months, then DCF will withdraw its petition. Is that correct, Mr. Redfield?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's all right with you, Sasha?
I'll give it a try.
Well, thank you.
Is Grandma there yet?
No, baby. She just left an hour ago.
When can we visit her?
Maybe when school's finished. Let's go get your stuff. We're going home.
Okay.
So, you planning on ever talking to me again?
I don't know what you mean.
What I mean is you haven't said a word since you got on the plane.
I'm tired. Going to bed.
What do you want me to do, Winnie? Apologize? For what? For figuring out what I want to do and doing something about it? I'm not going to. Not even for you. And I'd do just about anything for you.
I bet you think that's true.
What did you want me to do? March onto the plane and drag Mama off before she got her little bag of mixed nuts? I would have done that. You know I would have. But you're not completely sure that's what you really want, is it?
I'm not finished. I can still make something happen. I can still figure out what I'm supposed to do. And I wanted her to see that. I didn't want her to go thinking I'm a failure. I wanted Mom to see me get it right. And now she's going.
Winnie, we put her on a plane, not in the ground.
You know what I mean.
Not all the time. Our mother is moving to Vegas. We gotta bear this shame together.
It's so embarrassing. I want the table.
You can have the table.
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guy's lost. Everybody knows the fight is fixed. The poor
poor stay poor and the rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the boat is leaking. Everybody knows the captain lied. Everybody got this broken feeling like their father or their dog just died. Everybody talking
Amy.
to their pockets. Everybody wants
I gotta
a
go.
box of chocolates
You sure?
and a long stem rose.
Okay.
I'm sorry about tonight.
You don't have to apologize to me. You've got a lot on your mind.
Yeah, I do. Call me.
Sure. What's wrong?
You kissed me in front of that girl, Judy.
And you're embarrassed.
No, I mean, not really by the kiss.
By what?
By giving you books you don't want to read. By making you listen to music that means nothing to you. By trying to build a supportable defense for all of this.
Who says it needs defending?
Me.
Amy, I've been trying to play this thing the way you want. But you keep changing the rules.
I thought the point was we didn't have any rules.
Then you're not paying attention. Because there are a lot of them. And you're the one who's been setting them. Look, I don't know anyone like you. I've never had anyone I've had to work so hard to keep up with. And I work really hard, in case you haven't noticed. There's a lot more going on for you here than you're ready to acknowledge, and that's a problem. For you, not for me.
I gotta go.
Just remember, you broke up with me once. And this thing, right here now, this is the second chance. If you understand what I'm saying.
I think I do.
Well, don't think too much.
Mom? You couldn't sleep? I haven't really tried yet.
Phil Nevins is in jail. If things go well, he will never have access to children again.
So the great experiment is working.
Appears to be. Not exactly as I thought it would, but it appears to be.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think I'm gonna be around a little bit more.
Oh?
In the evenings. I think I'm gonna stay in more. With you and Lauren. If that's okay.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, the drama explodes when a police commissioner is linked to 2 murders. Don't miss the drama of Law and Order. Next.